I am Leslie Mota. I am on the ground. Welcome to Unscripted Finance Talk with Tammy Hammer. Tonight we're keeping it chill and we're sharing real nuggets. Well, not real nuggets, hypothetical nuggets of finance from our experiences. No pressure, no big agenda, just a pop up space or a pop up live stream where we break things down in a way that actually makes sense. So let's talk money, mindset, and everything in between. Tammy, how are you today? Oh my
I'm
goodness.
good. How are you? Hey,
You
I
know
get
the
it.
struggle.
Mine, I'm surprised it's not mine.
If it's one or the other. Okay, so we had a few people in the group chat in the comments that were sending us messages like, where the heck are you?
I
Why are
know.
you guys late? Why isn't it starting on time? They really were ready to see Tammy Hammer laying down the financial hammer tonight.
Hey, that's the thing that I used to do. We had a running joke, Johnny and I, in our crypto and coffee spaces about me mentioning credit unions, and that used to be hilarious because I was constantly mentioning it because I was trying to get people to move from banks to credit unions. So, yeah, I have a little bit of knowledge, I guess, but yeah, we were having a little technical difficulties bouncing on here. So, sorry.
Guys, I'm telling y'all, if there is an apocalypse, Armageddon, I think Tammy and I will survive if we go off grid. I have no
We will.
idea why or what happened to the technology, but here we are. Chat, we're going to be talking finance. Tammy, she comes from the financial world, the corporate, the sector. She has a lot of life nuggets. I have some too. Are they real? Are they chicken nuggets? Are they McDonald's chicken nuggets or Wendy nuggets? We don't know. But yeah, Karen, we started 30 minutes late, but you still here, boo. I love you. I love you,
Yes. We do
Empress.
love Karen. We love to give Karen a hard time, and Karen loves to give us a hard time. Hopefully, my lighting is better today, Karen, because I know you said poltergeist last time. So
What the fudge?
I
Did
was
she
like, maybe it was
really?
the light behind me, but now it's a little dimmer. So I think we're good. I think we're good.
That is a wild. We have Empress in the house,
Ah,
Base
Empress!
Neck, Evil Ghost. We have the whole crew here. Soul, thank you guys for tuning in. I know we are a little bit late, and thank you for your patience with us and technology issues.
Look
But
at
Tammy,
Karen.
I've been.
Karen said my lighting is better. Thank you, Karen. You did make an impression. Like, hey, when Karen speaks, we listen. Okay? That's the
Oh,
way it goes. And let me say hi to my based boo, bass snack. I had to say boo to him because I think it's a battle now between
oh
you and
my
him.
God. Yes. Have you ever seen the gif of Barney beating up T Rex?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
literally me and Based, and I'm
Yes.
Barney. In that case,
Okay.
that's the only case on Barney where I'm beating up T-Rex.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it.
But
See, got a
Based,
Tammy
stop
boo.
calling her Tammy Boo. That's my boo, bro. Pick your own boo. No kidding.
Yes. Number one boo in the house.
Sharing is caring. But Tammy, I am so excited that we always talk about the finance and the things that are happening in the space, in the world, just everything that we see based on experience. And you're doing a pop-up live stream with me, it's like outside of the normal schedule. I really
Yeah.
appreciate that. And I am so blessed and grateful that you're like, yes, let's do a pop-up space and talk about this craziness that happens.
Like I said, I'm humbled that you have me. I am not like a notable person in the space, so for you to have me on, I'm seriously honored. And I have to give you a shout out because of what you've been doing. All of your interviews, seriously, like there has not been one that you have had that I haven't heard them say what a phenomenal job that you're doing. And your intros, your outros, you really take the time to research people. So this is your calling, and I wanted to give you props for that. So you have
You
been
know, I
doing an
appreciate.
amazing job. So I am blessed to be here just because I'm like, oh, little old me. Okay, I'll come on and chat. Why not?
Tammy, I told you, you are someone. Your mother effing Tammy Hammer. Of
Laying the
course, you're
hammer down.
somebody. Yes, no, and I know that your time is precious, it's valuable. Just the simple fact that you're here and, trying to talking finance. I don't know a lot about finance. I know enough, and you still do a lot of that right now with
Hmm.
your business and what you're doing. And no,
Yep.
I'm very appreciative that you took the time to come on and do this, because I know it does take some time, and it does consume from everything else that you're doing. So if anybody's appreciative, I am, and I'm blessed. And I love you for all that and your kind words.
Well,
Time and my
you got
boo.
it. Your finance boo. Oh, hi, Nico.
Why are you saying my name? What's your name, Nico?
Oh,
Oh yeah.
I don't know what he's saying about that. Oh, maybe he's talking to Karen.
Oh, okay. They're always fighting. And
Always.
please excuse me, guys. I promise that I'm not going to try to blow my nose, blow my
I
nose
feel
in the
bad.
live.
Yes.
Or try to, or like when your nose is draining and you're like, I'm gonna really try not to do that stuff and mute it while Tammy is talking. But I was telling Tammy, like, my allergies are really kicking my behind today. And then I caked on the makeup, the eye makeup too. So it's making it like 3 times worse.
It happens. It happens. But you know what? You still look beautiful, so you can't even tell.
We,
I took my Zyrtec D, so I'm doing a little bit better today than I was doing yesterday. It's been
yes.
awful though.
It's been horrible. I think it's the way. Okay, so do you think, you know what? We're supposed to be talking about finance, and we're
It's
like
all good. We can talk about anything.
we're like squirrel. That's what we do, right? Squirrel. But
But we always circle back. We're good. We will circle back to it.
do you think that they're freaking putting something in the air, like spraying things in the air? Gina tagged me in a post the other day, and then my ears are itchy too. But do you think
Mhm.
they're like spraying something in the air and then just trying to make us sick, or pollute us in some way, shape, or form?
You know, I always wonder that, honestly. They did something here. It's been a few years ago, and I will never forget this. Like, if somebody was filming me, it would have been fucking hilarious. Dave and I both.
Yeah.
We were walking the boys, and they decided to spray for mosquitoes. They claimed that it was a mosquito infestation that were causing something horrible, so they had to come spray. So we were walking the dogs, and all of a sudden, I see the crop duster, and I mean, it is nighttime, okay, but I can see this thing because they fly so low, and props to those guys because the way they fly those things, I don't know how they don't crash them. I'm sure they do on occasion, but I could see the lights coming at me, and
Yeah.
I told Dave, I go, "Oh my god, they're spraying." We were literally running to the house, and I remember his arm. I think his arm was in a brace or he did something to his arm. So he was trying to run fast to get back to the house because I didn't want to get sprayed with whatever they were spraying. But it was
Yeah.
really literally like a fog the next day. It was like a haze. I didn't even want to go outside. So I listen, I'm okay with the mosquitoes. I'm fine. I'll stay in the house rather than you spray everywhere. It was just ridiculous to me. So do I think they put things in the air even that they don't tell us about? Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like we kinda touched a little bit on some of those conspiracies last time, right? Like
Yep.
when the CIA was doing some kind of freaking, stuff, spraying it into the air under the fog. I
Yep.
can't even think right now.
Yep.
See, oh my gosh, I'm really bad today, because I was just gonna add to that. Okay, so the spraying. Oh, you know what I was watching really quick? I know I'm supposed to save a lot of this stuff for conspiracy theory tomorrow, but you know
Oh
how
yeah,
we
tomorrow
always
is
talk
gonna be
about.
fun.
Yes, it is. I'm so excited. But you know how we're always talking about flat Earth, and then how some
Yes.
people are like, wait, it's like they're having us explain like some more stuff. So then I was watching this video on TikTok yesterday, and I forgot to send it to you, and I was going to send it to you because they were like some of the people that believe, like the firmament and how the dome separates the waters from above, the waters from below,
Right.
blah blah blah. So apparently some people are sending balloons up there with GoPro cameras and things like that to see what they see.
Mhm.
And then somebody made a valid point, is they're like, how come when, in the ocean or in the lake, whatever, when you see some of these boats, they were saying like some specific ones, You know how you see like that white little wave bubble, like wave stream or
Yeah.
something like that? They're like, how come we see that same exact thing on the sky? When some
Oh, the jet
like
stream?
yeah, the jet
Mhm.
stream, and they're like, it's very similar. It's almost like they do touch the water, and it's like doing those waves, and it's, we're seeing it as like the sky, the clouds or whatnot, and it's actually maybe them doing that on the water. I'm like,
Huh.
interesting.
I guess I never really thought about that. Yeah, and I have discussions with Dave about that a lot just because I'm like, did you notice that the skies were actually really clear when the government shut down? Like that was a thing. I had not seen a clear blue sky with no jet stream in it at all. So I was like, that's the chemtrail, whatever you want to call it, you didn't see those. So yeah, I was kind of I was kind of shocked by that because I started paying attention once people started putting it on TikTok. TikTok, you will get lost in TikTok for real.
And then all of a sudden, right after that, recently, we have the Northern Lights that appeared everywhere.
Yep, I could see them here
Like,
and not something you would typically see here. So it's crazy. Like I never thought in the Midwest we'd be able to see the Northern Lights, but I captured some really good pictures. Are they saying funny stuff in there?
I put the chat up here. I don't know if it's like gonna distract us. It's like we wanted them to participate, and then it's like when
Yeah,
once we start talking about like the financing stuff of it, I'm pretty sure a lot of them will have things to say, but they're
yeah.
freaking funny. Karen is calling Nico a bald dwarf, and then Nico's calling me the misandrist flat earther. I don't even know what that means. I'm gonna have to Google it, but
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes, yeah, Nico, you'll have to explain that to us. Hi, Jay. I see Jay down there. And I think Priest said hi. So thanks, guys, for coming. Everybody wants
yes,
to learn about finance, right?
absolutely. Crypto doctor, hello. He calls me Lisa. It's funny.
Oh, Lisa. I've
Yeah,
heard
and then what
Linda, but not Lisa.
Linda, Lisa, yeah, some people call me Lisa, Lisa,
Lisa,
but
Lisa.
tell me what the fudge, what the hell is happening in a finance? Oh, why does Nico okay, can see ADHD squirrel, why does Nico call you a Fed and he calls me a plant?
Okay, Nico has called me a Fed, and Jay can attest to this. He has called me a Fed for a very long time. I don't know where that comes from. I'm not sure. I know that we were in a space, Jess's space, her subscriber space, and oh wow, I do give Fed energy. Okay, all
So I
right.
get
I'm telling. I don't know why. I don't think I look like a Fed. Is it because I'm always dressed in black? I don't know. I don't
no, I
know.
don't think so. Is it because I mean, is this like a was that stigma or whatnot because you're blonde and I'm a plant because I'm brunette, I'm a Latina?
I know. Hey, maybe I don't know. Maybe I give off those vibes, but I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. But I promise I'm not. So, I don't
I was
know.
gonna ask you something and I freaking completely see the today is gonna be very hard to focus mostest, but what the hell is happening? Do you
Um
think I mean, we can go all topics, but it's like we always discuss finance, what's happening. Oh, I muted myself. The
yeah.
mortgages, the car loans, everything. And
Yep.
then what the hell is happening? Do you think we're going into like a bubble, a reverse bubble?
I do kind of wonder that when I heard that mentioned about the 50-year mortgages, and I know you were in a space, when was that? A few nights ago, maybe last week, and they were up there talking about the 50-year mortgages, and you're going to hear both sides of things. I mean, everybody's got an opinion on it, but I think
Yeah.
from you were in the industry, so was I. And to hear that even suggested, it's like, okay, that's not a solution to the problem that they're trying to solve. Because, giving somebody, you're taking somebody that does not qualify for something and making it harder on them, basically. Yeah, will they get qualified for it? Sure. But like we spoke about PMI insurance, like people don't think about those things. And for people that don't know what that is, and I know finances can be boring, but these are like real life things that people I feel can use. Um, PMI insurance, private mortgage insurance. So the amount of money that you're really going to save on that 50-year mortgage in payment, which in essence you're going to end up paying for your house probably 2 or 3 times by the time you
Yeah.
would get done with that. But the PMI insurance, because the bank is taking more risk, you know that PMI insurance is going to be slapped on there. And that goes up to 1.5% of the mortgage.
Not
It's
just that, like, people don't realize that the PMI is also based on your credit score. So if you're already struggling and then your credit's not that good, and yes, they qualify you, that PMI is not going to only be based on, like you said, the interest rate, the loan amount, but also your credit score as well. And it's the lower the credit score, the higher that PMI is. Now,
right.
a lot of the times, when I was doing underwriting, Tammy, and this is what people are not understanding, just because let me go back a little bit. So my understanding, the 50-year mortgage is for the people that don't qualify, right? Or the
I mean,
lower.
technically making home ownership probably more affordable on the surface. We'll put it that way.
So then when we're talking about that, I mean, I understand for the investors and the people that have money, the wealthy, yeah, it seems good, it seems delicious, right? Because it's like, oh my
Of
god,
course.
it's perfect. But if you're putting it out there and you're painting it to make it more affordable for the people, okay, let's really talk about the people that you're trying to paint this for. Because
Right.
you're the lender, I'm the borrower, Tammy. I'm coming to you. My debt to income ratio is barely there. I'm barely trying to make ends meet. I barely
Mhm.
qualify. Okay, my credit
Right.
score, you know what? I have a little bit of issues. It's shit, but it's good enough to qualify.
Right.
Okay, boom, you qualify me. We're all good and dandy, right? Now, depending on the type of mortgage that we're getting, and now, okay, go get an insurance quote. Okay, here's my insurance quote. Now my debt to income ratio is okay, barely there. Okay, taxes. Now we pull the tax cert. Now we're adding that, okay, debt to income ratio, whatever. And then boom, PMI based on my credit score and how my credit risk profile looks. Now guess what? Because that shit went up high, I no longer qualify. I saw
Exactly.
that a lot when I was underwriting mortgage loans. They qualify, their debt to income ratio is very close, then you get PMI, and for some reason or another, that sucker goes up and you no longer qualify. So are we really making things affordable? Plus, what people don't understand is that PMI, you have to hit the loan at, pay off at least 20% of it before that PMI falls off. How much longer is that going to take on a
Oh,
freaking 50-year mortgage loan?
absolutely. Because you're going to have 20% equity before they'll even consider it. And good luck, because then they're going to do oh, Leslie said a swear.
High
He knows that's
trading.
my favorite thing that he says. Um, but with your PMI, that's going to add at least $150 to $300 to the payment, just the
Mhm.
PMI alone. So stretching it out to the 50 years, let's say, you're not saving anything because it's only
Mm-mm.
going to save you per month, maybe 250, 260 bucks a month, obviously depending on the loan amount. But I mean, who wants to pay on a home for 50 years? And I am all about home ownership. I'm a big supporter of people purchasing a home, purchasing real estate. I think in the crypto world, it's almost like a get rich quick. And I know we discussed this today, get rich quick, but I think that you can go broke even faster when that happens. And having a home, having land, having assets, I don't think people think about that. And in my opinion, if you can't qualify for a mortgage, but yet you can for the 50-year, let's say, you're better off renting, I feel, because in my opinion, you're going to do better if you just save that money, put that money aside so you don't have to do that 50-year mortgage. Because who wants to be in their 80s still paying on a mortgage? Like, it doesn't make sense. And people move on average every 7 to 10 years. So
Mhm.
if you're upgrading your house or you move for a job, whatever it may be, whatever reasons, 7 to 10 years, you're not even going to tap into to make it worth your while to even purchase a home and put it out for 50 years. Like your money, you might as well rent and try and put money aside. And God forbid the housing market like tanks, because if it does, then you think it's bad being like upside down on a vehicle purchase. Can you imagine on a home? Like that just in my mind, they aren't fixing the problem, they're putting a Band-Aid on it, and it's to the detriment of the consumer when they do that.
Mhm.
It makes 0 sense to me. But you're right, you have to add in all of those things, and I don't think people think about that either, that, "Okay, this is what my mortgage payment will be." Well, no, you have to add your escrow in there, and your escrow consists of your insurance and your property taxes, and good luck with that, depending on where you live, because
Yep.
that's gonna add a lot to the payment. That can be over $1,000 added to the payment.
Yep. And I heard somebody saying, and in a beautiful real world, yeah, that would make sense. Somebody
Mhm,
was saying, okay, well, they can take a 50-year out mortgage. It's like the principal and interest is going to be low. And then, whatever the difference is, they can put it in stocks. They can build their portfolio, etc.
mhm. Yep,
Which realistically, that would be something nice and sweet, right? And built. But
right,
if they're putting out the 50-year mortgage to sign for the people that don't qualify for the other products, how the hell are they going to even have the extra money to even put the difference in stocks and, portfolios and grow it if they could barely make ends meet, if the debt to
right.
income ratio is way up there. And I think people really don't take that into consideration. It's like they always see things as is or based on their experience or the people around them. But if you're actually doing the work and you're around people that do mortgages or in the financial sector, you
Mhm,
really don't understand what's happening at the bottom of the barrel, at the bottom of the pyramid. What we see is what the government tells us, what the media tells us, the reports that are put out there. But do you really, really see what happens in house? Because another thing that I was saying is like, when people are saying, okay, well, it's become to the point where it's like really not affordable out here. It's like the house pricings are very high, etc. But what people don't know is that we made products available to foreign people. Like, do you know how many loans
yeah,
I did in the course of the year that I was working or underwriting that we actually lend to people that were not from the United States of America, to foreigners, to people buying properties here. People don't
right,
know that. I mean,
right.
the government allowed that. And
Yes.
now the people that live here, the people that are Americans, the people that want to buy homes can't,
Nope,
because we gave it all the way away to, other people, other countries that actually were able to afford it to come to America and buy land here. Buy
exactly.
property. Well, not land, property, but
Right.
same.
And you know what else too, I don't think people are thinking about, and I know maybe you had mentioned this, the way that the mortgage rates work is if you go a little less, okay, let's say you want to do a 15-year term on your mortgage, then you're going to have a lesser interest rate on that. As
Mhm.
the term extends, so does the interest rate. So a 30-year mortgage, I think 30-year mortgages right now are running right around 6.5%, maybe 6.3.
Yeah,
15-year is going to be around, maybe it's going to be in the 5% range, maybe 5.5.
right.
So that 50-year mortgage is probably going to be sitting somewhere around 7. It's going to be probably
Oh,
1% higher
it's
than the 30.
definitely going to be a higher interest rate. So the higher the term, the riskier the loan, therefore the higher the interest rate. So
Yep.
you're always going to get a lower one on a 10, 15 year versus a 30 to 50. They're always going to be higher.
Right. And to me, honestly, like I said, I feel it's just a Band-Aid, and I believe that it's going to send home prices even higher, which is good for somebody
Mhm.
obviously wanting to sell. I get that. But it's only making money really for the brokers and for the banks. Let's be real. Like that is going to be a moneymaker for them. And I've even seen TikToks of them talking about it. It's like, come on. I look at how much it is for insurance now and all of these other things that you have to pay for. on top of it. And God forbid you buy a house and let's say the furnace goes out. We just put a new roof on our house, $30,000. So, I mean, there, it is an investment, but if you purchase it right and you're not set up for failure, which I believe what they are doing by doing a 50-year mortgage is they're setting somebody up for failure. I
Yeah, I
would
mean,
never suggest it ever.
Tammy, at this point, why are we not addressing wages or prices of the economy? It's like,
Right.
why does the government continuously create programs to continue to keep the American people financially enslaved?
That's what they want to do. That's what it's all designed to do, I truly feel. And that's
Yep.
why I believe that they don't teach this in schools. They don't teach financial literacy. And I've talked about this at nauseum probably, but I wish that they did a better job with that, but I almost feel like they just don't want to. And I was one of those people that used to go into the schools and teach financial literacy. I loved it. I taught high school kids, I taught, middle school kids, and we went all the way down to elementary, just the little basics. And it was rewarding and it was fun. And I actually had some of the parents even contact me because they wanted information after that because they were never taught. And it's not that they're I feel bad because if you never had that to begin with, you don't have it to give. So
Yeah,
it's not the parents' fault. They were never taught either. So
exactly.
it's difficult. It's something that I see that is a huge problem and I feel like kids are just set up to fail when they come out of school and then you go right into college and look at how much college costs and in my mind they're not fixing the problem with that either. It's like should it cost that much to go to college? No, like
Mm-mm.
these kids are buried in debt when they come out and 9 times out of 10 most don't even go into what they got their degree in. So I don't know, it's all just a racket, it's all a money
It
grab.
is. I think, right now what we're seeing is that wealth concentration continues to rise. Those who own the credit system, like the banks, funds, they collect interest for a longer period of time. Us, people that borrow, we stay trapped, to these freaking compounding repayment cycles that
Yep.
never stop.
Hmm.
And, it's like what we're seeing is like at one point a few decades ago, our parents, our aunts and uncles, our ancestors were able to, yeah, it was hard and they were able to afford
Hmm.
um assets and property and then pass it on. And what we're seeing now, that is a lot harder to come by, and it seems
Hmm.
like now the wealth is shifting from the consumer to the institutions, and
Right.
it's not stopping anytime soon. And can the people take power back into their hands? Because one of the things that I'm seeing, it's like, is currency really currency, or are we the people the currency? Because we're the worker bees and we're the ones that are continuing to work to make the richer richer, and us stay chained to a system that's not for us.
Right. And honestly, I think it's shifting that mindset from fear into control. So you need to shift your fear of money into control of it. And I think
Mhm.
it starts with one step at a time. I think it's little small goals that you set for yourself, but to really stop fearing money. And I think from a young age, I think people fear that. It's like, are you going to have enough? And you've watched your parents go through things, and then you have that fear. Oh my gosh, how am I going to pay for this? Or am I falling behind this or that? And I think it is just understanding that you can control that.
Mhm.
So I think that's tough for people. So I think that if you can learn, you can take control and you can begin to take steps into your own financial freedom because I do feel that everybody can get there. I just think it's very hard right now seeing the prices of everything and people are really struggling. When I looked up, I think I told you I wanted to look up the credit card debt for the US. So for it was I think I jotted it down. Let me see. You know how I do my notes?
Yes.
Um, It is 1.233 trillion quarter three of 2025. 1.233
Wow.
trillion. And those are people that have credit card debt that are sitting at an average of around 20%. If your credit score is around 660 or below, you're probably sitting around 23% interest on those credit cards. And who is making the money on that? I swear to you, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover. Oh, I could go on for days about them. I I I see what they make, and it is disgusting. But I think people really did supplement their income with their credit cards over the last few years because it got tight for people. And what are you going to do? You've got a credit card. Sure, I'll put it on there and I'll pay it off. Well, it starts to compound. And I mean, looking at 20% interest, 23% interest, I mean, good luck paying that off because you've got a balance of a certain amount. I mean, that's going to be a shit ton in interest. I said a swear based, sorry.
Correct me if I'm wrong, or was I dreaming that when Trump came into office, he was going to put like a stop on how much interest we got charged by credit cards, or am I hallucinating or wishful thinking?
You know what? I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know. I know that there was a meeting where I don't know if they were in front of the Senate, um, but they were actually doing some sort of like questioning of them. And when you heard like the amount of money that they make, it's disgusting. I mean, they make it off merchant fee. They make it off you with interest. And I mean, it's just it's a huge freaking everything's a Ponzi, I swear.
There is. Ray has a question for you. He
Oh
said,
yeah.
"What are Tammy's thoughts on the big institutions coming into crypto and now being able to heavily manipulate the market in their favor? Because decentralization and Bitcoin was never meant for the elite."
It
Which I
wasn't.
do not agree. Yeah, I
I don't
completely
disagree
agree
with
with that
that.
last statement.
Yeah, I
Hi,
it
G.
does it does bother me. I feel that what you're going to start seeing are the CBDCs and then comes the control. Um and I in the spaces when I've talked before and I know that this was the joke with Johnny because I would mention credit unions and I guess I just want people to understand the difference. A credit union they're nonprofit, so they're not for profit, which upsets the banks because are they fundamentally the same? Absolutely. But the banks make money for their shareholders. So you're feed to death, you've got higher interest rates. Credit unions can do everything that a bank can do. And that's where I spent the last 14 years of my career was at a credit union in management there. And I am such a huge,
I'll put
huge
you on top.
cheerleader for them. I'm sorry. Did you say something?
I said, "Oh, I'm gonna put you on top."
Oh, okay. I know. I feel like I don't know if I'm looking in the right spot. But credit unions, I'm telling you, they have a special place in my heart. I did have to leave the last one because they were hiring a bunch of bankers, and I just didn't like the direction it was going. But credit unions just have a different philosophy. And I believe that I told you with the whole credit and debit thing, go to a credit union and talk to them, just get information. If you're still at a bank, I just don't like these huge banks. And you can look back over the last couple of years, the mega banks that were basically formed and the bailouts that happened, I believe it was in 2008 if I'm not mistaken. And what happened with Silicon Valley Bank, I'm sure you remember that, when there was a run on the banks because or that bank in particular because they bought heavy in bonds when the interest rates were really low. The tech community, the startups started happening and they needed capital, they needed money. So they were coming in to take out money. Well, guess what? They didn't have it. They didn't have it in reserve and they got themselves into trouble by doing that because then they had to liquidate those bonds at a massive loss because the interest rates had just jacked all the way up and they weren't worth as much. So you see that happen with the banks and there's always a bailout and it ticks me off because they don't learn from their mistakes but they're not held accountable, I feel. I mean, you know the Fed's gonna come in and print money to bail you out. Why not? It's annoying,
Is money even real at this point?
girl. You know, that's why I wanted to I decided because it's taken me a long time in this space. You know that I've been in this space now for gosh, 6 plus years. And I have to laugh because I was one of those people. Like when I came in, I thought, oh my God, everybody's going to hate me because I'm a banker coming in here,
Yeah.
even though I was a credit unioner, I was a banker. So I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even want to tell anybody what industry I came from, but I was trying to understand it and bridge that gap between DeFi and TradFi because all my mind, and I think I told you this today, I would never say I'm an expert in anything. Do I know
Yeah.
a shit ton about banking and finance? Yes, because that's what I did. That was my passion when I was a kid. I always played bank, like everybody's with their Barbies and stuff like that. Here I am setting up like the books, and I got my Monopoly money out. I'm playing bank. I was destined to become a person in the finance industry because I remember when I graduated too, I had to wait for months after I graduated high school to get my first job at the bank because I wasn't old enough. I had to turn 18 before I could get a job. I graduated when I was 17. So, but it's something that I just absolutely love. But coming into this space, I had somebody really break it down for me in crypto because I kept saying, "Oh, it's a scam. It's a scam. No, you don't want to do that. It's a scam." And he really put it in layman's terms to me, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll take a look at this. And I remember saying or him saying to me, he's like, Tammy, whatever you do, just don't buy Bitcoin. Just, just don't go into Doge because Doge is what I was asking him about. And sure enough, that is the first crypto I ever purchased was Doge. And I'm so happy I did. If I came into the Bitcoin maxi space, I probably would have left long ago. And I still have a special place in my heart for Doge. They're just it's a great community. So I still hold it. That's my OG. But yeah, I think knowing both worlds, I don't even know if you can be truly successful in crypto, not having just basics in finance. I just see how they both go hand in hand. But having big banks come in, I can't say that I like it. So to answer Ray's, I think it was Ray that asked that question, it doesn't make me feel comfortable. No, because I think they just want control.
I've always said this, it goes back to even the conspiracy theory space we had on Sunday talking about the Titanic and how they eliminated three of the wealthiest men, even wealthier than JP Morgan Chase, and they created the Fed, and those men opposed to it. And then here we are with this freaking cycle of continuance and what they're building behind the scenes. I think that's should be another good conversation as to what, let's really dig deep into what these private sectors, private bankers, the banking cartel are really doing, behind the scenes, the patents, what they're filed. Because, I was doing
Right.
that for conspiracy when I was doing the Bitcoin Trojan horse conspiracy theory. And it freaking is just a web. It's a spider web of information and then how one ties to the other. And it just blows your mind, Tammy, because it's so much, it's so overwhelming. And I'm like, you know what? It's never going to end. I mean, I think the only way that it would end is if probably 60 to 70% of the earth's population band together and was like, you know what, we're going to take this back into our own hands, take the power back.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're going to be, it's a vicious cycle. It's a nonstop cycle. It's like,
And do you feel that they're controlling it even now with the what we're seeing with Bitcoin and
oh,
the
freaking
crypto market?
absolutely. I know I'm probably going to get shit for this, but do I think that institutions are market manipulating? Absolutely, I do. And I don't think anybody should be surprised about that.
Mhm.
Institutions, they didn't enter crypto to play fair. They entered to move the market, shake out retail, and buy their entries at a discount and that is what we're seeing. Now, I have another theory as to why they're doing it, but I mean, we've seen this, for decades, even in traditional market, it's like equities, commodities, forex. Crypto is no different, Tammy. Like, if we are really looking at it outside in, it's
Mhm.
like how they manipulate it. They come
Mhm.
in, they dump a wave of sell orders to trigger panic. They push price into liquidity zones where retail has to do stop losses. They
Right.
short the top, buy the bottom, and
Yep.
then they leave everyone and all of us confused. And that's what's been happening the last few days. Then they use new cycles to create emotion while they position quietly, because we've also been seeing them positioning quietly. And
Mhm.
then the announcements of ETF flows, accidental leaks to steer sentiment. Is it illegal? Probably not. But is it
Right.
intentional? Absolutely. And guess what happens? We play into it, because
Yep.
isn't this what we cried for? Like, before, politicians were here, before Trump was
Yep.
here, everybody was like, "Oh my God, Trump is pro crypto." It's like, let's get politicians in here. The institutions are buying and blah blah blah. And now motherfuckers are crying about it. Oh my God, I said
Right.
another curse word.
Uh-oh.
Oh my bro, shut
Fears
your face
based.
and read the charts or learn, and make money on the way down, and then position yourself and make money on the way up. But
Right.
if you really look out, if you really zoom out, Tammy, is it any different than traditional marketing what they're doing? No.
No. No.
The only difference is we're supposed to be in a place where it's like they're not supposed to control it, and they control it because look, we were talking about it in a space. Now, this is where we enter conspiracy theory, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody is now blaming Trump for crypto, right? Because
Mhm.
Trump is pro crypto. He comes in here with his freaking coin, and then
Yep.
Melania and all this stuff. And, now they're
Yep.
creating, Wi-Fi or whatever they call it. What is
Mhm.
that? What I'm like, I don't even remember right now. But now that the market is dumping, now that Bitcoin, what we're under, are we under, still under 90? I didn't even check it right now, but I know
I'll
yesterday
check
we
it.
were like at 89, whatever. Everybody is panicking, and then everybody is like, oh, well, Trump, and blaming Trump, and, blah, 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 these institutions. But what if it was a ploy to make Trump look bad?
Yeah.
Because, Tammy, the institutions were already buying way before Trump went into office, and a lot of big
Oh.
institutions like BlackRock, they already had their books, they already had their portfolios. Um, like JP Morgan Chase, when I was doing conspiracy theory too, like, oh no, it's BlackRock. They have like a very device that they created, AI, that it was also telling them, like, I need to go back and look because I don't want to talk out my ass. But my point is that they were already talking about it, and I
Yeah.
think what they were already seeing is the signs on the wall. It's like, okay, Trump is going to get elected, Trump is going to get elected, and they probably don't like Trump. And now that Trump is in, okay, you know what, let's make that mother effer look bad and start
Right.
dumping and then start manipulating the market and making it seem like
Yep.
it's him.
Yep.
Every time there's like, he talks about tariffs or he talks about a negative sentiment or whatever, it's like, okay, let's make him look bad, and then people start dumping, and then they go
Yep.
back in better entries, and we see
Yep.
this time and time again.
Absolutely.
I feel
Absolutely.
like I just rambled.
No, no. I mean, I agree with you. And I think the misconception is that the institutions haven't been planning this for quite some time. Like, I do believe that it's been in the works for a long time. So they have been working behind the scenes. I remember when FedNow was introduced, and I'm like, interesting. So, I think that we are conditioned to things. So they start the conditioning with, I remember when they were pushing people to do their Social Security. You're no longer going to get a check. It's going to automatically to be deposited, and no more paper checks are going out. Okay. So they condition people into that. Now they've conditioned people into using the card. If you think about it, we are pretty much a cashless society. Like, I don't know a lot of people that still use cash. You've got your card for everything, and it's just out of convenience, yes. But I think all along they continue to condition us, and people don't even see it by the way that they do it. It's very subtle, but it just pushes people into, different things that they want to be pushing or they want you to go into. And I don't think I feel like crypto really made, was that my dog? Was that your
That
dog?
was mine.
I thought it sounded like my dog. I'm like, "Wait a minute." I didn't know if it was echoing. But I think, crypto didn't come in to destroy banks. I think it came in to make them evolve. And, I think, like I said, I've been seeing it for some time, and looking back, I always say this, you connect the dots going backwards, not going forwards. So I can see things now from when I was still in banking, different things that they were doing that would lead me to believe that this type of thing was already in the works. So CBDCs, be it what it may, they knew what was happening, even though they had us like screaming, not screaming at members, but basically telling them that no, crypto's a scam. It's a scam. And then when they heard I was in crypto, when I actually made that transition into crypto, they were like, "Excuse me, what? Like, have you lost your mind?" And I'm like, "No, really, I believe in it." But now those same people are coming back to me asking about it.
Yep.
So, but they say when people start asking, that's when things start going down. So that's like a
I could
top
have been a
signal.
freaking millionaire. Tammy, I could have been a billionaire. To that person, if you're ever watching, and if you are ever watching one of my live streams, and if you watch this, I cursed the day you told me no. I remember this, I of course I was working in the banking. Um and I remember when it all came out and I asked about it, and this person is like, "No, and you better not be going buying that shit. It's not real. It's internet stuff.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
fake, blah blah blah." And then I was like, that was the only, I never listened to this person. Anytime I wanted to go into stocks, buy things, like I always like did what I wanted. And this is the only time, Tammy, I freaking listened.
I know.
The
Same,
only time. And I'm like,
same.
bruh.
Bruh. I know. I said the same thing with Dave. There was this restaurant we would go to, and this dude, our server, every time we would go in, and I'll never, you know what? I'd love to know where he is now. I swear to God, he's on an island somewhere. Like he probably, God knows, the dude is probably rolling in money. But he would always say to me, Tammy, because he knew that I worked for a financial institution. He's like, "Hey, you know what? You really need to get some of this Bitcoin. I really wish you would get some of this Bitcoin." And he would try and tell me about it. And I'm like, please get out of my face. I don't want to hear about it. And even Dave, but surprisingly so, Dave got into crypto well before I did. Dave's been in
Really?
quite a few years before me. Yes, yes. So, I mean, he
Interesting.
got in Zcash a long ass time ago. Like he's been in all of them, Litecoin, like you name it, he's been in it. So, I laugh because the guy would say, "Hey, just give me $100. I'll get you 5 Bitcoin." $100. I'm like, "Bruh, what was I thinking?" And all I kept thinking in my head was, "No, I'm gonna give you this $100, dude." And it felt seedy. It felt like I had to meet someone in a back alley to buy Bitcoin. It was so weird. It was beyond strange to me. And I'm like, "No, I'm never gonna see that $100 again." But look at how much of money we waste. We'll throw $100 in a shitter and not think twice about it.
Exactly. Like, what if you would have like invested in that? I remember
Yes.
when I first learned about Bitcoin, it was literally pennies. It was under a dollar. And I remember it very vividly because it was the mortgage, crash, and I was in the
Mhm.
mortgage industry. And then right after that, I went to work for a bank. And
Mhm.
then in 2010 is when I learned about it. And
I
I want
know,
to
the pain,
cry.
the pain. They say to, okay, Never math the math, people. If I could give you one suggestion, just don't math it. Just don't do the math
No,
when it
I don't
comes
even do them.
to
I don't even think about it because Tammy, I was
Lord.
gonna put in. I remember it was like $50 or $60. I never would go in with 100 on things. It was always like
Mhm.
50 or 60. I don't know why that was
Yeah.
like my favorite number to go in at that time. Even when I would donate or whatever, buy tickets for meals and food, I was
Yep.
always buy, okay, 5 plates, at $10, 50, 60. So that's why I
Yeah.
remember that number. But
Yep.
I've never done the math, around what it cost around that year. And I'm like, No." So if
Mm.
anybody does it, do not tell me, por favor.
Yeah, and even people like the dude buying the pizza with his Bitcoin, like, what, bro? What are you doing? And even me, I did the math, Leslie. So I got into Pepe forever ago, okay? And I'm like, yeah, you're riding this up. And then all that weirdness happened, and everybody's like, oh my God, you need to sell. It's going to zeros. I listened. Why did I listen? And I
Oh
mathed
my
the math. And I remember
god.
Jess saying to me, she goes, never do the math. And I'm like, yeah, I shouldn't have done the math. Like, I didn't completely liquidate myself, but
Wait,
I'm like, why?
did you
Why?
sell that same year or when did you sell? I don't remember when. I had a moon bag. I didn't sell everything, but I remember I was up
Yes. Uh-huh.
and I don't remember why I sold. I was
Yeah.
very new and I think actually Pepe was my first meme coin that I went in or
Was
my
it?
second. It was my first or second. At that point I was an NFT girl. I started in NFTs. And what I
Yeah.
mean my first like I was in altcoins. Meme coins, I would say like yeah, Pepe and I would say Pepe. I don't
Did you
remember
get
which other
Doge?
one. No.
Really?
No, I didn't.
Wow.
I wasn't hearing that. I do have Doge now. Once
Yep.
I started learning about meme coins, altcoins, and all that stuff. Once I started hanging around the crypto crew, that's when I started investing in
Yeah.
this stuff, and then going and learning about more altcoins, and then investing. I actually one of the ones that I did invest very early on, like pennies on pennies on pennies, Sui. And it was
Oh,
when I
yeah.
invested on that one, it was literally 3 or 4 months old when I got into it.
Wow. Good for
Yeah.
you. That's
I was
awesome.
like, yes.
That is
So I've been
awesome.
sitting on that one.
That is
I'm like, please go
you
up.
like to hear those. Like and even me,
Yeah.
even getting into Doge, I'm thinking, man, we got in when it was like, I want to say it was 3 cents when we got into Doge. It might have been originally maybe a little less than that. And then, you get in, you get nervous, you sell, and then you buy back in. But I think ultimately it was like 3 cents is
Yeah.
about the entry. Yeah. So I'll tell you, it's something that you you definitely need to be careful who you follow, I feel. Um, I don't know, man. And people will tell you when you get into the space, oh, do your own research. Okay. Well, if you don't know finances and then you come in here and you're like, oh, hey, it's like, welcome to the casino. Nice to meet you. Just hand over your money. Like it's very difficult coming into this space, I feel, and even know what's going on. And especially if you don't have a grasp on finances, I don't know how people do it. I really don't, because you only hear about the successes. There's failures in there too.
Oh,
So we're not
absolutely.
forthcoming on that. God
No.
forbid.
See, why don't people normalize that? It's like
I
we
don't know.
always see the good, we always see the cover of the book, the pretty image, the picture, and we see somebody sitting up there and it's like now they're self-made, they made a lot of money in crypto, blah blah blah. And sometimes it
Right.
doesn't happen overnight. It's like why don't we share the losses too? Because that's part of
Right.
the journey and that's part of reality and that's part of what people go through. When I first got into the space, did I have wins? No, I had losses. My wallet got drained, my wallet got hacked. I lost good, valuable assets, and I wanted to leave the space, Tammy, at that point, and it
Sure.
happened one of my first events, and it was Miami. It was like what 3 years ago, but I learned my lessons. And you do have a lot of people out here that they really don't even understand the basics of finance, talking about finance to people that are entering the space. And sometimes I'm like, the fuck?
I
It's like you're sitting
know.
in spaces and you're listening to them and you're like, wait, what?
You know what? It makes me like I want to help everybody. When you
Yeah.
hear things, you're just like, "Oh my God, I can help you with that." And listen, I feel now like I was going to say before, I've been in the space now 6 plus years, and I think I finally figured out what my how I want to give back. I'll say that. Um, and I do believe it has always made my heart so happy to be able to help people. Like that I love. And I don't expect anything in return. If I can help one person, it's so worthwhile for me because I can tell you I could write a book on stories from when I was in the finance world, people that I helped get out of debt, people that finally had nice savings accounts. I did a loan. Listen, oh, Jess. Yeah, do not follow Nico for financial advice, Nico. Um, but I'll never forget one of the situations that I had we called them members at credit unions because when
Yes.
you own a piece of the credit union when you are a member of a credit union. So they weren't customers. That's a dirty word. So one of my members was trying desperately to get pregnant. She and her husband, I mean, they had tried. They didn't have enough money for, um, and I'm bad at this. Is it IVF? I
Yeah,
believe.
I think the IVF.
Um, and I was able to provide a loan to them it wasn't, obviously very much. We were able to figure it out. And they went on to have, I think together they had 4 children. And
Wow.
it made my heart was just like, oh my gosh. And they would always come in and say, thank you so much. Like you were there, you were able to provide this for us. And I never felt in the credit union world like I was doing or misleading anyone because I was there to help people. Like I wasn't misleading. Girl, I've been through trainings at the bank where they're telling me how to sell products, the insurance products, and they're saying, as you're doing it, as you're sliding the pen and talking, you're doing this with your head because subliminally, I can't even say that word right now. You'd think I was
Yeah.
drinking, I wasn't. But it tells them, I guess they're subconscious that, yes, I need this. Like, and if you're doing this, it means no. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? So you want me to like, I felt like such a fraud. I'm like, I can't do this. That's why I left. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Credit union world, though, completely different. But I think we have to, even in this space, you have to be honest. Like, where is the honesty and the accountability? Like, I don't get it. They're not all wins, people. They're not. And that's all people talk about. Oh, I made this, I made that. I'm going to tell you something right now. If this is not the realest talk that you will hear tonight, wealthy people are quiet. They don't talk about what they have, they are not flashy. And I always say this, I used to have it in my bio: wealth whispers, money is loud. Money
Yeah.
is loud. And you can be flashy, but you can also be heavily leveraged and, just hanging out there with debt upon debt that's not good. So I don't know. I just wish people would be honest in the space. And when you see those flashy things, please understand that the world is a stage and just don't believe everything you see. And even when I see that, I'm like, why would you buy a depreciating asset like that? Like the cars, because I'm in that end of the finance realm now. But I look at some of the stuff and I'm thinking, why? Hey, if that's your goal and that's what you want to get, sure. But I can think of other things that would be very smart investments, not a car.
It's funny because I talk to you a lot about cars now, and my
Hmm.
sister was looking at another SUV the other day, and then I was asking her all these finance questions, and then she's like, "Yeah, maybe I don't need it right now." I'm like,
You know what? There can be good debt and bad debt. Like I could tell
"Yeah,
you the ones because we're on the insurance side of things now. We don't have direct to consumer products with what we do, but we work directly with dealerships. So we see the warranty end of things, and I can tell you cars absolutely stay away from. But a car can be a good investment, but not if people will fall for, oh my gosh, no payments for 6 months. Don't ever do that. Please don't. And when you go into a dealership, don't tell them what you want your payment to be. Don't ever do that because they are going to pack. things in there, and obviously they have to disclose it, but just be careful when you go in. But now they're talking about 15-year car loans. I'm like, what? No. Did it was that legit when I heard a
Maybe
15-year car loan?
I
They
don't
already
know if
go
it's
almost 10
legit,
years.
and I
I
didn't
think they
even
do go 10 years.
yeah, and I didn't even do the research, but when I saw that, I was like, "Wait, what?" It's like almost I
Oh,
don't it just
no. Listen, you never want to lease a car more than 3 years, and you never want to be paying for a car for 10. No, absolutely not. They can be a good, I'll tell you, when COVID hit, all the pricing, like there was scarcity, and the pricing on used vehicles, people that were sitting in leases really made
yeah,
out because the residuals on those, when their term came up on those leases, those cars were worth a lot of money. So what people were doing, they were buying the car and then selling it. So I mean, they made good money. Hell, I did
yeah.
that. So it was a smart thing to do. But yeah, buying cars can be another one that people can get themselves in trouble. Being over obligated, not smart. But they'll do that to you. And during
I'm
COVID, there
telling
were some
you.
pretty shady things going on. People were paying upwards of like 50,000 over book value on vehicles, and I'm like, why? Why would you do that?
The government is like, "Okay, you know what? They're not buying, they're not spending. Let's create products so they can buy and spend, and we can financially enslave them even more. We will make
Yes.
it." And you have people like that. You have people that it's like they want to be in the flashy thing. They just want new things, and it's a social. What do you say? It's like the social appearance. It's like, it's like they
Sure.
want to showboat and, they want
Yeah.
to exude some kind of false reality that it's not it.
Right.
And people will go in debt doing that,
They
and
will.
the government continues to make it easy for the people to continue to do that. And
Right.
it goes back to what you said. It's because it's that lack of the financial education that was never provided, and they don't provide it in schools, and
No.
parents don't know, and then it's like we were not educated, and then we don't educate our kids or pay it forward either.
Right. No, it's very true. And I think that one thing I would want people to understand, there is a difference between good debt and bad debt.
Mhm.
There is good debt. So if you're purchasing a home, if you're using debt responsibly, so let's say you have a credit card, there shouldn't be any shaming in having to use a credit card, but
Yeah.
you just have to be disciplined with it. So credit cards that offer you an Amazon card, my Amazon card, you get cash, cash back or Amazon rewards for using it. If you pay it off every month, you can use that to your advantage. But there are bad debt things too. Don't be using a credit card to pay for food and things like that. That's stupid. Like your $5 meal, which I don't even know where you could get that now.
I don't
They are
think they
bringing
exist
value
anymore.
meals, I think, back to McDonald's, I heard. So, but anyway, $10 for a meal can end up costing you like 20, $30 by the time you're done because you're not paying it off. It's stupid. You should not be using credit cards for things like that unless
There
it's
are people that are
absolutely necessary.
really, really savvy. I'm not gonna lie, when I was younger, I did not know how to manage finances. I never had to. I was I
Mhm.
do want to say I was a little bit spoiled in that.
Mhm.
And, growing up, like I didn't. And then I got married at a very, very early age. And I didn't take care of the finances either. I got into debt, and,
Right.
my ex took care of it. And he was always very financial responsible. And I think that's why he's doing really well. Was I financially responsible? No. And to my surprise, once and he was financially responsible all the way up to when we divorced. And because he was financially responsible, I started understanding, once I got a little older, and the importance of saving, the importance of all that stuff, and then educating the kids on that. And if you don't, it's like everything goes to shit. The importance of having a savings, the importance of, sometimes if you want to buy something, like if you don't have the cash to
Yep.
pay it off, then why are you putting it on a credit card? Like, if you don't have the cash to buy
Right.
it, why put it on a credit card? Because one of the things that I learned is like a lot of people use the credit cards and stuff like that, to buy things off of the government. So like if you're buying the things and you're accruing what's it, points, rewards, things like that, then you're
Right.
using the system, right, to pay for that stuff. Once I kinda learned that,
Mhm.
I started using the credit for that type of scenario too. Like when my daughter was traveling, I would use credit cards. Like the American Express was really good with rewards for like
Yep.
hotels, flights like that. And I started accruing points so fast, would get free nights. And now that I don't travel and stuff like that, when I was traveling with to go to events and things like that,
Yep.
I had a lot of points, so I would get
Oh,
free
yeah.
nights and things like that because, it's like you learn to use it wisely. It's like you learn to use the credit in your favor, not against you.
Right, and that is good debt. Like, if you're using it to your advantage, and as long as you're disciplined with it, it's smart. And you know what? I'm not gonna sit here and act like, too, when I was younger, that I didn't get myself into some trouble with my credit cards. My dad was always like, "You don't need credit cards." What's the first thing they hit you with on the college campus? Credit cards. So, I got into it and I thought, "I'm just gonna get one." And then you start going to these stores, "Will you get this discount if you open a credit card today?" And it was just pushing constantly of the rewards that you would get for it. And it got to the point where I got myself so far out on that vine, and here I am working for a bank at the time,
Mhm.
and, I wasn't in management yet. I was still fairly I think I became a manager when I was 22 or 23. But, so it was before that, and I'll be honest, my cards, I couldn't do it all. I couldn't pay rent and all of these things, and I think about what my rent was back then, and, oh my god, I don't even know how people do it now. So, I mean, that would be, in all honesty, that was my failure back then, but then I learned, by I can't be talking to people about their finances if I'm a financial shit show. Like that doesn't work. So please don't ever take financial advice from someone you would not trade places with, okay? And I just think people sometimes aren't forthcoming about those things. Um, but there are ways to work yourself out of it, but you can use debt in your favor. Um, but you have to be disciplined with it and you have to learn to pay things off. And even if you've gotten yourself out there, just attack one at a time if you can. Obviously make your minimum payments and then just throw a larger chunk maybe at one of them to get it paid off, the highest interest rate one. Throw the little extra at that one to get that one paid off and keep going down the line. Or even those 0% deals that you'll get in the mail sometimes to do a
Yeah.
balance transfer. Sometimes those are smart to do. Um, Credit cards, though, I got away from a long time ago, but I swear there is not a time that I can go shopping at a retail establishment that they don't say, "Do you want to apply for our credit card today?" No. Or it'll even pop up
No.
that you've already been pre-approved. I'm like, "No, I'm good. I'm
No.
good."
You'll save 10%. Like when you go
Oh,
shopping,
Lord.
a lot of the freaking departments there, you'll save 10%. It's like, this is a total. This can be the total. I'm like, no, thank you. Nope.
Nope, nope,
Nope.
I don't want it.
Nope, 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 nope.
Now, if the money is free, I will say this. If it is something like, same as cash, we'll say that for lack of a better word, because you'll or phrase, because I know that people will hear that. But buying something and let's say it's no interest, no payments for 24 months or 12 months. Always use somebody else's money if it's free. Hell yes, and amortize that out and know how much you gotta pay to pay that off, but be disciplined with it. If it's
Yeah.
$1,000, set aside what you need to set aside for whatever that term is. We'll say 1,200 for sake of numbers. You've got 12 months in the year, you've got 12 months to pay it off, put $100 aside and then pay it off at the end. So those things will work to your advantage, but you have to be disciplined with it. You have to.
And some people, it's very hard to be disciplined. It's like, ooh,
I get it. I get it.
just said that a Gemini credit card gives you Bitcoin back.
It does. It does. I don't know that they're the only one that does that because I want to say crypto.com did that at one time. I think it was a crypto.com card that I have.
I
Oh,
have
I
to
don't
look
remember now.
into. those. So it's like credit card and then you get Bitcoin. I'm telling you,
But, people need to be careful with that too. When I see those, I cringe just a little bit because I'm just like, just be disciplined with it. That's all I
yeah,
ask.
I need a burger, chicken nuggets. I need some coffee.
Right,
Why am I
what can I go buy? What can I go get? But man, your long-term financial health is just so important, and I think if people learn to control that, it takes the impulsivity out of it, like the impulse buys. Um, and you're really looking at something like, how is this benefiting my future? How will this serve me in the long run? And if you start looking at things that way, I used to impulse buy stuff. And then, like, half the time, I can't tell you the last time this happened to me, but going in the closet and seeing tags on stuff, and you're like, I've never even worn that. It was an impulse buy. And if I have to see one more thing about what the latest effing trend is, I don't give a shit. Everything comes back, okay? Everything comes back. Build yourself a capsule wardrobe and be done. Like, you don't have to be all the trendy when you're not even going to wear that thing for probably it's cost per wear. So if you're not going to wear it enough times, don't do it. Just don't. I hate to be a fun sucker on those things, but
or
seriously.
what is a reason? What is a purpose? Tammy, earlier you said that you wanted to give back to the community, give back. Okay, so what's next for Tammy? Like what do you mean you want to give back? What do you want to do? Tell us
I
more.
Yes, I have decided that I want to start educating. And like I said, I don't want anything in return for it. But if I can help one person, I'm going to start doing some threads and giving people advice on, things about their debt or savings, things that I feel people are not taught early on that I used to teach when I would teach financial literacy. So, and I really would like to bridge that gap between TradFi and DeFi. So I have named it the bridge, which you've got up there.
Wait,
Um,
where's it? Where did it go?
I saw it for a minute, but I think we're kind of in the way of it. But the finance bridge. So I've decided to start doing that. I I feel like it's hey, there it is. It's
Much.
right in front of me.
Stop. I love live and tech issues. Okay, so here
Hey,
we go. Sorry,
I'm
Tammy.
down for it. It doesn't bother me at all. But I wanted to do this on my own and kind of do it at my pace. But we used to do spaces with Brooke, which I'm sure you know Brooke Lacey. She did it with me, and Jess obviously provided us the platform, which was amazing. And it was neat to get the feedback on that because so many people reached out to me in DMs, which I can understand that because asking questions can be a little intimidating, and I guess I just never want anyone to feel embarrassed about it. Do
Mhm.
I claim to be an expert? No, but do I know a hell of a lot and almost at expert level? Probably. So I just want to give back in that way, and I want to bridge that gap between people coming in that may even be from the TradFi world, kind of transitioning over into DeFi. So I think I've made that transition, so I feel that I can be of help or assistance in that way. So it was really your interview with Empress, that crypto Empress, which I have so much respect and love for. It That night is the night that I was like, "You know what?" It was so inspiring to me when I watched that, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Wow, what can I give back?" And that is what I decided to give back because I just want to see people feel, um, unafraid of their finances. And I know that finances and finance can be boring and it can be a very scary thing, but wow, what you can do is incredible, and your financial freedom is so important, and I'm just hoping that I can help people with that.
I
So,
love that, and I am so excited.
thank you.
Bravo. And I
Thank
am
you.
so excited you came on and we showed that, and I'm here anything. any support. You hold spaces. I'm gonna retweet, repost your threads.
I appreciate
If
that.
you want to come on and do more pop-ups and kind of share a little bit more of the financial knowledge that you have, and giving back to the community, I'm here for everything and to support you unconditionally and whatever I can.
Oh, I so appreciate that. And you, girl, I'm supporting you. I feel like the biggest cheerleader. I really do, because you're just doing an amazing job out here. You really are. It's just, you make everything feel so comfortable. And I can really see that in all of the interactions that you have and the interviews that you've been
Stop
conducting.
it. I
I'm
don't
just
do well with compliments.
I know you don't, but see, I'm trying to teach you. Okay. I
Yes.
don't do well with compliments either, so I get it. I get it.
I know. It's like we're gonna be like, no, you, no, you
I
said it.
thought
You
it. You
thought
said
it.
it.
The
But
white shirt.
it's to me, I felt like it was good for us even to talk about this because we both
Yeah.
come from that world. So, um, I I thoroughly enjoyed it when I would do the spaces with Jess and Brooke, and I got so much feedback behind the scenes, and people would ask me questions, and I would help them. And it made me feel good to do that. And I'm like, why am I not doing something with that? Because that
Yeah.
is the one bit of knowledge. Listen, on the crypto end of things, yes, I've been in it a while, but I have so much yet to learn in that aspect. So the crypto side of things, I have learned so much and I've come such a long way, but my expertise is in the TradFi world, and I think that I can help people with that. I really
I
do.
love that. I really love that you're doing, something. And it's like sometimes it's very difficult. We navigate the space, right? And we're just
Mhm.
like spectators and we sit on the sidelines. But sometimes you kind of feel like there's more to it and like you have a calling, but sometimes it takes us a little bit longer to finally one day wake up and be like, you know what? I want to do more than what I'm doing right now. It's like sometimes I think we're in a holding space trying to figure it out. And then one day we wake up and we're like, oh my gosh, I really want to do this. Maybe one day we should have Jess on too. Jess, are you ever going to bring back
My
crypto and
girl,
coffee?
my girl, if I could get her
Jess.
on, she doesn't have to come. She can leave her profile pickup.
Yeah, Jess, if you ever want to come on, you can come on with your PFP. You don't have to show your face.
I think Jess would be amazing. You know what? She gave great advice in one of the spaces that we held. She's
Yeah.
like, man, I went through, and I just did this recently. I went through all of my subscriptions. Girl, don't you know I found over a little over $200 a month just in just stupid ass little things that I'm like, I don't even Apple Music. I don't even use Apple Music. I use my Spotify for everything. And I'm like, wait a minute, why am I paying all these different little, you don't even realize how much it adds up. You can save yourself money that way. And I remember just saying that. She's like, oh, yeah, I use the rewards, obviously for the credit cards. And she's like, go in and make sure that you're not paying for a bunch of subscriptions you've forgotten about. Do it. Cause I'm telling you, a little over $200 just in stupid little shit that was going out. And you just don't think about it.
It adds up, or things that you subscribe to, and then a year later you get a bill for it and you're like, why the fudge am I getting that? Literally happened to me in the month of November. Like at the beginning I was like, 100 and some dollars for this, $80 for this, and I was like, did my freaking credit card get hacked? What the fudge is happening? So I had
Mhm.
subscriptions, it's like from a few years ago, when the kids went to school, sports, things like that. And I was like, things that I haven't even used. And I guess
Yeah.
last year I didn't pay attention to it. Now, like, I budget a lot more.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at these things and I was like, did I see? And then, you can go and look at the history. And I was like, wait, are they
Yes,
hacking me?
ma'am.
And I'm like, no, year after year after year. And I was like, oh,
And
crap.
that reminds me, when you said that about budgeting, let me look this up because I know I shared this with you. Let me find it. Um, Give me 1 second. But yes, honestly, I had, and I always tell people this too. Listen, I'm still one of those weirdos that balances my checkbook. I know people are like, "What? You have a checkbook?" I really don't, but I have like a little ledger, a ledger that I keep. People don't realize if you're not looking at those things, there's plenty of stuff that can come out. You won't even see it. Someone could hack your checking account. We had that almost happen with our business account. They sent through
Mhm.
something, and me being in the finance world, I was like, this doesn't look right. Sure enough, it was somebody trying to hack into our business checking account.
Oh,
So
wow.
it happens. Like it, to me, if you're not budgeting and looking at those things, even old credit cards, let's say you've got old credit cards sitting out there that you don't even use, please check in on those. Like if you still have your sign-ons for them, I had a airline ticket on one of our American Express cards that we hadn't used. I periodically check. Air Malaysia. That freaking flight that went down, we should probably do a conspiracy on that. Remember the what was it? That plane, they never found it, or I
Yeah,
don't know. That was weird. The plane went missing. So that was on the card. It was like $2,400 for a ticket, an airline ticket. I don't know if it was several airline tickets. I don't know, but I'm like, whoa, hold, pump the brakes. We didn't do that. So I had to call American Express, but we would have had to have waited until we got a bill to tell us. And if it's something that's been so long, I mean, who knows? Who knows if it would have been forwarded, or because we had moved since then, and even the email, it could have gone into junk. It's not one we used. So you really need to
that
check
is
those things.
wild.
I know. And with
You
the
gotta
cost of
keep on
everything
top.
now, I know people watch their dollars, and even though the dollars aren't worth much anymore, but ay ay ay. Thank you, Jess. She's so cute.
She
She said she's
is.
happy. Oh, the
She
budget thing. I did want to find that. It was
You're gonna
I,
freaking do amazing.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm super excited. And if there's anybody that has any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. My DMs are open. So, I guess walking a fine line, I can't give financial advice, which I'm not telling anybody to invest in anything. I'm just trying to help them. Like if they've gotten into a spot, there are tips and tricks out there that they
Yeah.
do not teach you, but they're things that from 2 decades in the business, I learned. So it's just something. It's my passion, and it's something that I truly feel good about is helping people. So if I can help anyone, please reach out. I oh, Karen has so many questions. None of them are kind. Oh, nice.
Well,
Well, you can
Karen,
keep those questions, Karen. But my
you
lighting's
and
good
if you do
today.
ask them, they may not be answered, and some of us might not feel like giving you a response. But
Yes,
Tammy, did we even cover I know that we're a little bit past, like, the hour,
that's all right.
but did you even mention what the fridge is happening with the credit cards when you pay at,
Oh,
the
yes. No, we didn't. So this is interesting. So I went to Costco recently. I love Costco and Sam's. I have memberships at both of them because I can find one. It's so funny. I find some stuff at one, some stuff at the other. I can't get rid of both memberships. I love having both.
Yeah.
But I go into Costco and I bought something, brought it home, didn't like it, took it back. So Costco makes you run your card as a debit. So, a little nugget on that when you're part of the credit union world, we promote members running, or listen, I'm talking like I still work there. We always promoted for members to run it as credit because money comes back that way. They get fee income from that. So just so you know, the banks make money, the merchant services makes money, um, but the business is typically charged. So when you're running it as a debit, it goes through the debit system. So it's a little bit different than running it through Visa, MasterCard. So there is minimal to no fee for doing that
Mhm.
to the place that you're buying, the business, the retail establishment you're purchasing from. So I bought this. Costco makes you run it as a debit, which I did. I go back to return it, and I get up there, and the guy looks at me, and I'm like, "Yeah, I just need to return this." And he's okay. Do you want that on a Costco, whatever they call their card, shop card, or which I'm in there all the time. It didn't matter. But he goes, a shop card, or you want me just put it on your original form of payment? I said, no, that's perfect. And I handed him my card. He looks at the card and he goes, I can't credit this card back. And I'm like, oh, hold up. I said, wait a minute, but this is the card I purchased it with. You let me buy it with this card. He goes, yes, ma'am, I can't credit that card back. I can only credit it if it's a Visa. This is MasterCard.
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I looked at him and I was like, all right." I said, "That's fine." I said, "I have to get something anyway, so go ahead and, give me the Costco gift card." It didn't matter to me, but I looked at him and I go, "That's interesting." And he goes, "Yeah." And I said, "I used to work in banking, so I kind of know how this works." I said, "You guys just don't want to give up that kickback because sometimes with a debit, when they run it that way, they do get kickback for that, and they don't want to give up the profit, and they don't want to have to process it because then they'll be feed. So that's why they force you to run it as debit. But who knew?
Isn't that
People
crazy?
didn't
And
know. Hmm.
I was telling you that too, that that makes so much sense because when I was doing like my tap
Yeah,
on my card, and sometimes it's just like approved, and then all of a sudden I didn't even think about it until I was talking to you about this and you were telling me this story,
yeah,
and I was like, oh my gosh, it makes so much sense because before it's tap and then approved, and now it's like tap and it's like enter your pin, and I'm like, well, what's the whole freaking point of tapping? Because it's like it used to be a lot
exactly.
faster.
Because for them, when you're putting in your PIN and you're doing the tap, they're getting the minimal fee, if any fee, because it's running through the debit system, which is Pulse, NYCE, I think is the other one, and Snap. I think Snap is the
Yeah.
other one. But yeah, that's running through a different chain. So therefore, they aren't getting the fee. And I'll tell you what, those credit card companies really get a lot of money on that exchange fee income that they get from merchant services. It's
Isn't that
crazy. Oh
crazy?
yeah, it's a racket. It truly is. But I'll tell you, I think I told you that with my credit union, running it as credit, they give the money back. But that's what the premise of a credit union is. They give back to the membership. So they don't give it all to you, obviously. But over the years that I was there working, I was there for 14 years. And obviously, I've kept my account. I've got accounts at all different places, but I've kept the one there. And it was over $7,000 in debit rebate that I have received back by running it as credit over the time that I had the account. So it's probably more than that now because I checked it a few years ago, but it was like 7,500, I think, at that time. So that's the
Yeah.
money that I received back in credit, which they let you just put it right in your account. It's cash money. So check your credit unions, people.
Cash. What's that song? Money, cash, money, cash. Oh no, you said cash money. Never mind.
And I did love the songs that you had. Like if anybody knows me, they know that I am dude, like I
Hold
love
on.
the old
Wait.
school.
Tammy, don't say it yet because Based is calling you boo now. And I want him to put right now in the chat, Based. If you really know Tammy and you're calling her boo, who is one of her favorite West Coast rappers? He may or may not be alive.
Mhm. Mhm.
Boo,
Let's see if you can get
Based,
this.
Based. Yeah, I mean, and it was part of the instrumental that we played right at the beginning. So there's another little piece of nugget. Based. He's gonna go like, wait, let me listen. Well, anywho,
Oh, base. Where did he go? Did he leave us? He has to answer the
he
question.
left.
He's quickly scrolling through my timeline. Wait, did she post anybody? Did she post anybody?
Who did you post? Yep. Nope. He disappeared. I see him responding to Burgers and Karen, but now that I'm asking him, he's not
I'll
responding.
give
I'm
you
like, Based is.
Tupac. Yes. Yes. Tupac is my guy. I could do a conspiracy on
I
Tupac, okay?
no.
Dude, and I was when the instrumental came on for Hit 'Em Up, dude, I was already singing it. I didn't even need the lyrics. I love that is my ultimate
That's true.
favorite
Yeah.
song that he did, and it's like the ultimate diss track. It truly is.
You I was laughing the other day that I was talking to you because I was like, literally, you and my sister are like twins.
Dude.
And I even told you, both of you have freaking bipolar playlist
Oh, a
because I am
thousand
the type
percent.
that if I'm in a mood, I'm gonna play that type of music, right? Like
Yes?
if I want to play salsa, it's all going to be salsa. If it's worship, it's all going to be worship. If it's gangsta rap, it's all going to be that.
Oh, girl.
And you and my sister are very
I'm all over the
similar. You
map.
guys will go from a Christian song to a Tupac to
Oh,
a
hell
Cardi
yes.
B to like,
Yes.
and I was like, "What the how?
Dude, I am straight up
How?"
gangster with my music too. Like I freaking love it. And you know what? I laugh because I always say to Dave, I'm like, I've got a vehicle that's all murdered out. Like it's black interior. I've got black windows. Like I've got even darker tint on the front. With it being an SUV, you get so much light through the windshield. So I went darker tint on my front two windows just because I'm like, and you see me thumping in. I used to thump into the credit union and my employees would just laugh. They're like, Miss Hammer, what are you listening to today? Because I jump out, in my bank attire and here I'm ready to go. But I am like straight up
Well,
gangster with my music. I love it. But I
I
will
was
go all over the map
laughing.
with it.
No, I was laughing because I have my sister over here, she looks very quiet, very proper, blah, blah, blah. And then the other day we're getting ready, and then I hear one of the Cardi B's, wet as some whatever. And
Oh,
she's
yep.
like full blowing. And then I was like, the fudge. And then here's Tammy over here playing Tupac going into the freaking store, like
Oh,
all
yes, honey.
thumping. And I was like, I have one over here and then the other over here on the phone.
Dude, I'm
I was like
telling you,
busting out like funny stuff.
it's
I'm
my
like, Tammy
favorite.
looks all professional. It's like banking and all that stuff. And then you never
Don't
would
let it
have
fool you,
assumed. Yeah.
right? Don't let it fool you because
Tammy will lay the freaking hammer on
oh,
you.
oh, and I always say that. I think it's my Gen X heart. But I grew up with I saw Just put Snoop in here. Seriously, like
Oh
Snoop,
my god,
I'm
Snoop
very much a West
Snoop
Coast rapper
Dogg,
girl.
yes.
So I don't know, it's just the West Coast rappers are like I think they are superior. I really do. I Now there are some East Coast rappers I like as well, but Tupac,
Mhm,
Snoop, Dr. Dre,
the
like
old one.
a Chronic album. I can go if I could do a
Oh,
rap
that
battle with
chronic.
anybody. I promise you. We'll have to do one of these and I'll do a rap battle. Dave always says that. He goes,
Ooh.
"My girl remembers every word to every rap song." I said, "You're right. I do."
Okay, is that going to be a live or is that going to be a space? Because I am so down for a rap battle, not me, you with somebody
Oh, I
else.
could do
I
it.
will be your
I
DJ.
could do it. Yeah, you'd be shocked.
But that Chronic album,
Oh,
the Dr.
Chronic is
Dre,
the
oh my
best.
god, that's one
I
of my
love it.
favorite ones. And then Snoop Dogg, the very perverted album. I call
Oh
it the
my gosh,
perverted.
yes. Gin and Juice, that album?
Oh my god, I can sing a lot of the
Are
lyrics
you talking about the
over
one with the doghouse on it? Are you talking about that one,
Yes.
the album cover? Yeah. Yep.
I don't wanna say which song, but there is one song and I can sing every word on that
Oh,
song.
see? It's the best. What?
It's
I mean,
but it's the very perverted song too. I don't know why that one just stuck in my
you dig
brain.
that one. Hey, it's all right. I even say the lyrics myself. I was listening to what was I oh, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say a swear based. Fuck with Dre. That one, I was listening to that and I'm like saying all this stuff and it's like some of the lyrics in that are so bad, but hey,
Yeah.
it's all good. It's all good. I know all the lyrics to it. So should I be singing
You're
them out
like,
loud?
"It's
Probably
all."
not, but it's
Yeah,
cool.
you know what? We should just open up a space and then just, like, start
Dude,
jamming
do
with those
instrumentals.
songs before we start
I'll do it word for word. I promise you.
for okay, we have to pick a song, or I could just throw any instrumentals and then we can get
We could
going.
do it. We could do it. Yeah, that's just it's so funny because my mom, I'll never forget, I was laying out one day and I don't remember which song it was, but oh my God,
I'm like,
I got my full name. I got the Tamara Michelle. She came out, she goes, "Tamara Michelle, I know what they're saying on that song. You're not listening to that." And I was like, "Oh shit." But I was well, I didn't say oh shit, but I was in I think I was in like middle school, maybe high school, early on high school. So, yeah. I mean, this goes way back with me. It's just what I like. And Dave and I, he calls it more of like he calls it a generation gap with us just because he doesn't dig the kind of music I can get him into. He
he
really likes
doesn't
Post Malone. And I love
really.
Post Malone. So he's one of my favorites, but he does all genre of music. I swear. He goes on everything. He can do country, he can do rap, he you name it, he does it.
You
So,
know, a lot of people don't like country, and I can actually do country too, but it depends, like which ones. I like someone like the old country.
mhm.
Like Chris Stapleton. Oh my gosh, Tennessee
Oh,
Whiskey is so one of my
he has a soulful voice. Yeah,
yeah, that's the
there are
type of country that I like, yeah.
that I can get into, and even when Post Malone did it, I'm like,
Mhm.
"Man, I really like." There is another guy, I think it's Charlie on a Friday, if I'm not mistaken. He sounds so much like Post Malone, but he does some more of the, maybe modern country or country hip hop, I guess.
Yeah.
That I can get into, but yeah, oh, I've met Rascal Flatts, honey. I've been dragged to concerts. I think I was dragged to a Toby Keith concert one time, and I'm like, who the hell? I'm like, how did I end up here? But Rascal Flatts, Keith Urban. I always liked Keith Urban. Um,
Yes.
but yeah, it just depends. I'm not a huge country music. I remember Haley saying to me one time, she said she was going to a Morgan Wallen concert. I think that's his name. But I go, "What does she sing?" And she's like, "Tammy, it's a guy." And I'm like, "Oh, well, I guess that tells you that I really don't know much about country, but I thought Morgan Wallen was a chick. Sorry.
Yeah, it does sound like a girl.
But I do like his stuff. I do. Some of it. But
You're like,
yeah,
some of it, not all of it. Okay, we definitely need to open up a space and do
I'm down.
a rap battle. I'm like, who wants to rap battle Tammy?
I would love it. I would love it. Yes.
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre. And you know what? I could probably go down the conspiracy of Tupac too, because
I
I go
think
back
we
and forth.
should.
You what?
I said, I think we should.
Because part of me wonders if he did really, if he's in witness protection, or he was really taken out. I don't know. I do believe Biggie was taken out for sure.
So you think that Tupac is under or possibly under witness
Yes.
protection?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that?
Um, I I mean, I've seen different people that they say look like him, which I can see it.
Mhm.
Um, but I feel that some of his music that came out had more relevance to the time period than it should have. Um, I don't know. I think that there was an attempt on him, several, and I don't know. I feel like maybe he didn't die. I kind of wonder. I mean, I'd be down if he was still around, man. But yeah,
Yeah.
he is my ultimate fave.
I think there are some people that think the same way that you. I've seen like a few videos here and there, but never
Mhm.
really got into it
Did you
about
ever see two, I think it was Snoop and Dre, they were doing a concert, and they actually had a hologram of Tupac that was there, which
no.
was crazy. You can probably search it, but they had an actual hologram as they're performing a song. There was a hologram of Tupac up there performing with them. It was pretty dope. But yeah,
Interesting.
I remember a few years ago too with the halftime show for the Super Bowl. Man, all the OGs came out there, and that was like, I was like, yes, you had
Yes.
50 Cent,
Oh,
you
I
had everybody.
remember.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, it was the best. Like, I was loving it. A lot of people hated it, but I loved it. And even when Kendrick Lamar did it, this was he the last Super Bowl? I think he was.
Yes. I think he was the last one.
Yeah, I really,
I like the
I
Kendrick Lamar.
really, I liked Kendrick
They not
Lamar.
like us.
They not like us. His diss track, honey, oof. But I love that song.
I
I
mean,
love it.
every like when you okay, so that song, I got a different perspective, the beef and all that stuff happening, but there was so many people that broke down that song and interpreted in different ways and
Oh, yeah.
sections. Do you ever remember seeing it on TikTok? And it just like opened your eyes to how people see things, their
Yes.
opinions and the stuff that how they were breaking it down. And I was like, oh my God, this is so interesting. And then when he
Yeah,
came out with the video, and then even his wife, came out in the video, I was like, "Damn.
yeah, I think that there
Damn,
was a
son."
lot of meaning in that
Yeah.
diss track. And I believe it exposed a lot of the shadiness that goes on there. And
Yeah.
there's another one, and I can't think of the artist that produced it now. She Knows. Listen to that song. There's a lot of hidden messages in that song too.
Oh, the one from J. Cole? She Knows?
Yes.
Or
Is it him?
is it, I think, wait, it, I'm
I'll
looking
tell
it
you
up.
real quick because
J.
it's on my
Cole. I
playlist,
freaking
obviously.
like J. Cole too.
It might be. It is J. Cole. Yep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hidden meaning in that song too.
Really? Okay, I'm
Yeah,
gonna look
because he
that up.
talks about Aaliyah, Michael Jackson.
Oh, yes. Okay,
Yes.
now it's clicking. Now it's clicking,
Left Eye,
Tammy.
Aaliyah, and Michael Jackson.
You know what? Maybe we should do like a show or conspiracy or space about,
The
celebrities and
music,
then
I would, oh
songs
my gosh,
in
we
the
should do that. That would be fun, actually. I would
yes.
enjoy that
See,
because there
because
are messages in these songs, big
I didn't
ones.
put that together until you said it right now. She knows. And then it's like if I've listened to that song so many times, so many times. And now that you say it, I was like, oh my God, it makes sense.
Yeah,
How
if you
come I
listen to
didn't think
that one
about that?
part that he mentions Aaliyah, Left Eye, and Michael Jackson, yeah, there's meaning there. Mhm.
Okay. You know how we do conspiracy theories and then I saved it. So I have all these in my save files and I need to send you all these conspiracy freaking because I wanted to talk about it tomorrow too, but I don't know if we're going to
Yeah,
have time. But apparently that you know how they always blamed Michael Jackson about being, a pedophile, blah, 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 whatever. That apparently the conspiracy is that he wasn't, and he actually knew about what was really happening with the children and all that stuff. And
yes,
that's one of the reasons why, it's like they offed him
they did.
and the
Mhm.
medication and all this stuff. And
Yep.
I saved the video, but it was late at night and I kind of dozed off when I was watching it. And I was like, oh my God, I need to send it to that. But I tell you, I'm not going to send you stuff in the middle of the night when you're asleep. And
Oh,
that's what I
and
did.
that's if I fall asleep in spaces or anything, yes, I'm on Eastern time, y'all.
Yeah.
So that's why I girl, you know I gotta sleep. That's all I'm saying.
And I what I made in the middle of the night, it's like 11, 12. So I'm not going to be sending Tammy things at 2 o'clock in the
You get up
morning while
super
she's
early though. You
asleep.
get up super early because I always say I'm like when I see you like commenting or you'll send me a message and I'm like, what is she doing up so early? Because I know the time
Yes.
difference. So
I've been getting up early. I've been actually, you know what? 10, 11 o'clock. No, that used to be, but lately I have been going to sleep like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I've been going to sleep early. Like, it's like there comes a time where it's like your whole body shifts. I don't
yes.
think it's my whole body. I've been on this spiritual journey, trying to get a little bit, not a little bit, a whole lot of closer, to God
Yeah.
and my calling and all that stuff. And, part of listening to my body and everything else to be where I need to be is, having structure in your life
Yeah.
and going to sleep early, getting up at a time, and then giving that time in the morning, first thing to God, prayer, and all that stuff. And then,
Yeah.
and I feel a lot better ever since I've been doing that. Yeah, there have the weekends I do stay up late. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like Friday or Saturday.
I know, because 'cause you'll even say that to me. You're like, "I saw you answering on like, you were tweeting,
Yes.
I saw that." And I
I
always
was like,
laugh. You're like, "Wait, why is she still up? She shouldn't be
yes.
up."
I haven't
Mhm.
seen you lately, but I know what was it last week or whatever? And I was
Yeah.
like, wait, Mommy, you go to sleep super early. Why you up?
I know, and I do. I go to sleep early, but and I even say that in the mornings too, like, this morning when I woke up, I just got up. So, because I think sometimes when you allow yourself to fall back to sleep, it can
Hmm.
just throw you off, and
Oh
the
yeah.
first thing that people do, you grab this, and I think it's better not to, and I've been trying to be very conscious about not grabbing this in the mornings and, giving yourself time. I think you need to because I think it can, I don't know, it can distract you, I guess, and get your mind going, and I think you just need to have a moment to yourself. And I've been
I
trying to
think
be, um, I like positivity, and I don't call it toxic positivity, but I try and remain positive. So that's why even in the mornings I'll put a good morning message out, and I hope that it helps at least one person. Then it makes my heart happy
I
if it
love your
touches
good
somebody.
morning messages. I do see that they're I mean, you've always been very positive, and I think, now, like, you're adding a little bit more,
Yeah,
meat to them, a little more substance, and I was like, "Ooh, I like this." And you never know, like, who is going to relate
right.
to that message, or when they read that message, they're gonna be like, "Oh my god, that message was for me." I kind of remember I used to write a lot of motivational, little sentence quotes too, and I
Yeah,
kinda stopped. I don't know why, but I need to do them more often because I see that when I do sprinkle one of those in here and there, some people will be like, "Oh my god, that's for me," or "I relate to that." And,
yeah.
you never know who you're going to touch that, not like that, but,
Not
emotionally,
physically.
not visit people,
You're
because
not reaching out
here
and
there's
touching
a lot of
somebody.
people, but you never know who you're going to
It's
impact
true.
that day with that message. And I love your good morning messages. It's like, I was going back and forth with somebody because I posted like a God quote, and then they were asking me, it's like, what is your Bible verse of the day? And I actually have like the Bible app downloaded, so I get a verse
Oh,
every morning.
yeah.
And although I tell you, it's like, okay, when I get up in the morning, my goal is not to be on the phone at least for 30 minutes to an hour. But the only
Right.
reason that I pick up my phone is to look at the Bible verse of the day, and then I take it from there.
Yeah.
But I was like telling them that, and they're like, and then they gave me another, word, they reply it, and then they gave me another message, and I was like, oh my God, that was meant for me. Like,
See,
I
I
was like,
believe
thank,
that.
yeah.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I need to make more of those posts because, like, what he said back to me, I can't remember exactly was, but I was like, thank you for allowing yourself to be a vessel, to deliver the message because I needed
Mhm.
that message today.
Absolutely. And I think that, you just don't ever know who you're going to, like you said, who you're going to
Hmm.
touch, or even smiling at somebody, make them feel less alone. You just don't know. You don't know the impact that you will have on somebody else. And
Hmm.
if it's on your heart, I think you should say it. And that's why I
Hmm.
always take time, and people probably think I'm silly, but I always take time to make sure that I respond to everybody, because if somebody took time out of their day to do that, I'm
Yeah,
going to acknowledge it. I hate when I see, and I know sometimes, the timeline gets crazy, but I just want them to know that I saw it. So
yeah,
I think that that's important to me. So it may be repetitive when I say, good morning back again or whatever, but it to me, you
I
took the
do it.
time. You took the time out of your day. So I want you to know that I saw that. And it meant a lot to me that you even responded to me. So
Yeah,
that's how
no,
I
I
feel.
get behind that too because I do the same too. And lately, I've been getting busier and busier. So
Mhm.
now what I'm trying to do is like do it in sections. If I respond in the morning, in the mid afternoon, or at night, now once, I'm getting ready for bed, I'll take like
Yep.
an hour or so and then start responding to people because I feel the same way as you. It's like almost, I'm not saying I get anxiety or whatnot, but I'm like, I know people messaged me and I know I want to go in and be like, hey, it's like, and like you said, you never know how they're feeling. And it's like to
Right.
them, you responding is might be the smile of their day. And I love what you said that, sometimes it's like kindness. And Thursday, Thursday I was having a rough day.
Mhm.
And I think we talked, I don't remember, did we? But it's the day that
Yes,
I
because
take
I
my
was in
mom.
Kalamazoo that day. Yes.
Oh yeah, and that's the day
Mhm.
that I take my mom to the cancer center. And it's like her platelets were lower, her hemo were lower, like, it was kind of going. And that day, Tammy, I don't know what it was, or I don't know if I was like fully um conscious of the environment around me. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna put my phone down, I'm gonna put my laptop, because usually I'll take my laptop and my phone and I'm on the
Yeah.
internet or whatnot, social media. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna be present in the moment. And I'm sitting there, and do you know how many of these patients were smiling, said hi? And then, it's like we're walking, I'm walking to go pick up my mom's prescription, across the pond. I call it across the pond. But as I'm walking, some of the patients like move out of like the way and be like, move out, like they're an inconvenience. And I'm like, no, no,
No,
it's
you're
like, you
fine.
go.
Yeah,
And I was like, and it's just like, but I think that God works in certain ways when he knows that you need something to show you, like, hey, the kindness, it's like if they're
yes,
going through what they're going, if they're going through pain, if they're going through all of this that hurts the body, that makes them feel a certain way, and they can still exude kindness, they're moving out of the way for a normal person that's not going through anything, and then they
yeah,
smile and they're so happy. It's like, what is stopping me from showing that little bit of kindness, and
exactly.
that, and it was just, I don't know, when I decided to be present in the moment on Thursday, I think I learned a little bit more about, it's like sometimes the bullshit that happens here, certain things, it doesn't even matter in the context of, in the
It
grander
doesn't.
scheme of things, it doesn't even matter.
No, it doesn't, and I think the toxicity that happens in the space,
Mhm.
over the last I'll be honest with you, the whole meme coin thing, and this one's better than this one,
God.
and it's like, "Oh my gosh," like, it used to not be that way, and it gets to be overwhelming sometimes, and I think it's good to step back from it, and be present, like you're saying, because honestly, just that example that you gave, you think about what other people are going through, and you, I guess you never know what someone is truly going through. And to be able to put a smile on someone's face or see somebody that is going through horrible things and yet they still find a reason to smile. Like,
Exactly.
I don't know, that just it fills your heart for sure. And I think even before, being in this space and going through some things, this has been years ago, it really helped me to redirect and refocus. And now I can look back on it and be like, wow, I was not present at all in my real,
Mm-mm.
I'm the same person online that I am in real life. If you met
Yeah.
me, I keep that same energy. Like, I'm no different when you meet me. Um, but I could tell looking back on it now that I was just too focused on things that really didn't matter. And I think you just have to, sometimes you just need to cleanse yourself of it and, just not participate in it. Because if you don't feed it, it dies. So,
Yep. And I think through all of this, I think I'm learning right now is I'm in a season, Tammy, where I'm not angry. I'm not bitter. I think I had to learn to be unavailable to things that don't grow me, because peace is expensive. And, it's sometimes you have to be done with giving people discounts. And
yep,
watching everything, that, a lot of what I've been going through,
yep,
and it hasn't been easy.
nope.
And,
You
watching my
handle it with
mom.
grace, though.
Yeah, and, I don't wanna cry because, it's still hurtful and painful, but, it's like the other day when I went to go pick up my mom and, she lives kind of like an uphill, it's like we live mountains, and she was, like, walking to the car, and then she was having a very hard time breathing,
Mhm.
and then she gets in my car, and I have, a low profile rim type of car, so it's like, it's a
Right,
sports car, and, it's like bucket seats, and I forgot to ask my sister for her car, because sometimes, I'll ask her for her SUV because it's higher,
right.
easier for my mom to get in and out, and typically I'll borrow her car when, like, we do bone marrow transplant because she's gonna be
Mhm.
in pain. And then just watching her and then get in and out, and I'm like, "Mom, I'm sorry, are you okay?" And then she was like, "Yeah, yeah," it's like, and I had to sit back and be like, "You know what? We go through storms, right? But we don't
Mhm.
know the storms that other people are going through, and
Right.
sometimes I have to take a step back and be like, "You know what, God?" I had to shift my mindset to be like, what can I learn from this storm? What
Mhm.
tools am I acquiring for this storm to put in my toolkit? I may not understand why we're going through what we're going through,
Right.
but help me see the beauty of it all and the beauty of the storm and what are the life lessons that I'm learning through it all. And I
Yep.
think that, my mother is like one of the strongest women that I know. And, it's like her life has always been a journey.
Yep.
There's always been trials, tribulations, storms. And I think me being here is kind of helped and strengthened my will to survive the storm because sometimes it's like, why me, why is this happening to me, like why is all things always happening? And I had to shift my mindset to like, what am I learning and what new tools am I going to freaking develop for my toolkit? So
Of
you never know
course.
who you're going to help, in the process or when you're looking back or stuff like
Exactly.
that.
And your mom is a fighter. She is a fighter.
Yeah.
And anybody watching, please say a prayer. I do believe in the power of prayer with things
Oh,
like
me
that. I
too.
do. And if anybody can push through, it's going to be her. It's going to be
Oh
her.
yeah,
And
she's
especially
not
with all the
ready to
love.
give up.
No. And all the love that
Tammy,
she
she's
has
not
around
ready to
her.
give up.
No, no, no. And we need to get you in an SUV. Just saying.
Oh, I know, that's what my sister told I think last time she went to go look at it, she comes home all excited, she's like, "Oh my god, you know what I saw?" And then she did tell me the other day, she's like, "Leslie," I was like, "But I love not having a car
Oh,
payment."
I get that. I get that. And you know what? That's
But
another thing with finances. It is nice not to have it, but there are advantages too. And yeah, we can discuss those as
I
well. I
know,
mean, there are ways.
but you already know, like, my dream SUV right now, and I'm like,
Well, you
but
have to, and I have to be honest with you. It has become such more of a level playing field, I guess I want to
Uh-huh,
say, with domestics and the foreign vehicles,
yeah,
that it would shock you the pricing. Like people will, with what I drive, they'll be like, "Oh, must be nice," and I'm thinking, yeah, but I know how much a Ford costs now. I
yeah.
mean, it's crazy to me. It really is. I was in one of the dealerships and this dude was in there. He just retired and he was buying a, I don't know Ford as well, but it was some big Ford, you know, heavy duty, whatever. This thing was just shy of $100,000 for a pickup truck. And I'm like, "Sir, you're retiring." I'm like, "Can I talk to you for a minute? Can I teach you about our Lord and Savior?" No, I was just like, "But can I talk to you for just a moment? What are you doing?" But you can't. Let people do what they want to do.
Yeah.
But I was just like, "Wow." But I'm thinking, people will say a BMW. I'll just say it. Oh, that's so it's really not. If you compare apples to apples, and you even think about like oil changes and things like that, you get it once a year, every 10,000 plus miles. It's like the money you save even on that, and it's all covered for the first, what, 3 years. So, I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
yeah, like there are a lot of things that I've learned being in that end of things now with our business. So, and
Yeah.
I am not one of those people that will call you and say to you, "We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty." Um, yeah, that's not me.
Stop
Don't do
bothering
that,
me.
people. Get it through the dealer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that getting back to what we were talking about, we all go through things, and
Mhm.
um, I think sometimes you will come across people that will feel like their problems are worse than anybody else's, but I guarantee
Yeah.
you, if you put them all in a pile, they'd be grabbing theirs back because they wouldn't want to handle all the other ones that were there. So just be kind. Be kind because you truly do not know what somebody's going through.
And don't just say, like, "Be kind," it's like, truly feel it and mean
Do it.
it. It's like
It's a
it
mindset.
gets exhausting, it gets
Yeah,
exhausting. It's just to feel negative and, feel those negative emotions, it's exhausting.
it is. And
And
I've even had friends in real life that it's like, oh my God, you don't even want to
mhm.
ask them how they're doing because it's instant energy drain. And it's
Yeah.
not that you don't care about the person because you do, but yes, some people are just tough. Some people are
Yeah.
tough. But I think you have to feel it in your heart. And, listen, I do my best to be kind, but this face needs Jesus. Okay. Like,
Look.
Whoa. If this mouth doesn't tell you, this face will. And I know even being, in the Twitter sphere, I feel like sometimes it's best that people don't see me because my
Look.
face, honey, it
Tammy,
needs
I'm
Jesus.
struggling. Tammy, I'm struggling.
The
Tammy,
struggle is
you know
real.
why I'm struggling, Tammy? Because it's like I really, really want to be, it's like we're not perfect, right?
Right.
And I do believe and I do think that Christians do have a bad name. It's like
Sure.
a certain way because whether it's church or whatnot, and I am not perfect by any means, and sometimes I do like let my emotions get the best of me.
Mhm.
I'm freaking stubborn as a mule. And
Oh, I am too.
I think that's what I'm saying. I think that you're an Aquarius, right? But because, it's like
Well, I'm kind of like one, yes.
in a way,
In a
not
way, I have
in a way,
tendencies, yes, but my
tendencies.
Virgo is Virgoing half
Yeah, no, I
mostly all
think,
the time.
okay, so I think I can seem very cold and I look, I can seem very cold and you can seem very sweet, right? But then when it comes to cutoff game, you're colder than I am
I'm
because
very cold.
yes. So I think that that's where we're kind of like the opposite, that it's like you can
Mhm.
seem sweeter than I am, but in reality, nah.
Nah.
And I can seem
Nah.
colder than you. And in
Yeah.
reality, it's like when you really get to know that me and when I start caring, I care very deeply, like
Yes.
extremely deeply to the point where it hurts so much. And that's
Yeah.
why I put up that wall because I feel very intensely. And I think that's kind of where it seems like we have similarities or difference. But look, what I'm saying
Absolutely.
that I'm really, really trying, Tammy, is because, it's like me getting back into reading and all that stuff. The other day, you know how I tell you, it's like I feel like I get these messages, in my mind, in the
Sure.
spiritual. And it was like study Jesus, study Jesus, study his character, how he moved, how he treated people. And then I was talking to my mom, and it's like one of the things is like, you have to love people. You have to love people, and you even have to love your enemies. And I was like, oh hell no.
That
Hell.
one's rough for me. That one's rough. Yeah.
Because it's like when I'm hurt. And it's like,
Mhm.
how can I get past that? And then, it's like we're studying and we're going down the rabbit hole. And then a video pops out of nowhere on TikTok. I'm like, God is trying to tell me
I
things.
swear, yes.
And
Mhm.
I and at that point, this guy is describing it so beautifully. And he said, it's like if you're having difficulties, forgiving people,
Mhm.
loving your enemies, even the people that do you wrong. Do you remember Jesus Christ when he was nailed and he looked up at the Father and was like, "Forgive them, for they know not what they do." And I was like, and that really hit me, but because he said a lot of more other things. And then he
Sure.
was like, I can't remember what apostle was. He's like, he denied him. Judah betrayed him.
Mhm.
And like he was going down the line and he knew this, and he still loved them and he still all this. And I
Yes.
was like, oh my God, I need to work on myself a little better.
I do. You know what? I feel you because I feel that way too. Like if I've ever had love for you and things have gone south, I will still always have love for you, but you got to keep it over there. Like
Yeah.
I can love you, but I don't have to live with you. So, and
Yeah.
I reposted something on TikTok as well
Yeah.
that the man did say, he nailed it. He's like, if don't try and drag me back into something that God brought me out of. Meaning I worked hard to get where I'm at, and, I sometimes I don't know if the healed me or the unhealed me will sometimes, come out, but it's a struggle sometimes, it really is, it's tough
Yeah.
because I get they know not what they do and to still love your enemies, but man, I've grown to the point where and I've said this, and I know it probably doesn't sound nice, but, um I don't wish bad on people. I don't wish them well either. I wish them
Yeah.
nothing. I have nothing. So, and I think it's almost better my detachment game, like, when I cut off, it's off. So, I think it's my sign, but, I still but I will give people chances. And I think you're just giving people grace at that point. And I think everybody should do that. Um, but sometimes it's difficult. It's difficult, and we learn every day. But man, it's it's a journey. It's a journey.
Oh, it's a freaking absolute journey. And I'm the same way too. It's like, one of my longest relationships ever, I gave that person many chances, one after another, after another, after another. And, you lose yourself. You really, truly lose
That's a
yourself.
thing. Hmm.
And, one of the things that I've been learning, I've been on a journey of self healing, discovering myself, loving myself first, because I think when you do love yourself, you also learn how to love people. And even Rated Stroh said it, you can love people from a distance, and
Absolutely.
that is the reality. And
Yep.
I think too is that when you start learning about yourself and that healing journey, you start appreciating that peace, right? That peace
Yes.
is priceless. Peace doesn't come at a discount. And because at the end of the day, hurt people. And
Yes.
it's like, uh, having different relationships, whether they're business, friends, and stuff like that. You go through journeys, and sometimes you'll hurt people, and it's because you're not completely healed, and you have to heal yourself first in order to
Yep.
like enter into certain relationships, certain transactions, because then it's like you'll be trauma bonded, emotional bonded, and it's
Yeah,
not
and
healthy.
that's right. And I think that we've said, I have to say to Rated, I don't know, Rated Z, RO, he said, I'm invited to the cookout. God love you. I'll be there for the cookout.
Aw.
Um, but I feel that you can say, everybody believes differently. You can say God, you can say the universe, and we've talked about this.
Yeah.
You will continue to have lessons put in your path until you learn from them. And
Yes.
you will get to that point where you've had it happen that you look back and you go, here I am again. Here we are again. And it's like, the universe, God, they're trying to teach you. You have to learn from it. You have to. And with loving yourself, like you are put into some people's life to teach them what true love is, and not in a way that, I'm not saying romantically, but
Yeah.
you're to teach them what true love is, and they're to teach you what
Mhm.
self-love is. And you have
Yes.
to go through that. You have to. And finding that and finding your peace, I feel, comes with a lot of goodbyes. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Because some people aren't in your life to stay in your life. And you
They come
have to
for
take
seasons.
yes, and you have to take the good from that. And I think that it's okay to leave people where you found them. That's okay. And just always try and take something positive, though. And I really have, going through some things early on in life, um, I really feel that taught me to try and see the good. And sometimes you have to go back, or you're wondering in the situation, why is this happening to me? You may not know now, but you will
Mhm.
eventually. You'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah,
So,
absolutely. It's like sometimes you don't understand why you're in the middle of the storm. And
mhm.
then it's like once you get through it and then you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, sometimes you need a stepping, it's like you're in a placeholder place where it's like, okay, you know what? You're in a season of transformation.
Yes.
You're in a season of fire, and you're being molded through that period of time. And it's like, what are you learning? It's like, what are you
Right.
gaining? And I love what you said too. It's like take every situation and learn from the positive, because the old me and the way that I was years ago, I would have been like, F that, F this, and boom, boom, boom. Not kidding. But
Right. That's how
I'm
I
a
do. Just saying. That's the side y'all don't see. Okay. Sometimes you'll see it pop out on the timeline. Sometimes
yeah,
sometimes the struggle
no.
is real and I come out, but only when people
I
mess with my
don't
people. That's the only
yeah.
time.
I don't think I was ever that crazy, but I
Mhm.
do have like a very heated hot moment. And you know what? And I hate that side of me. I hate the
Mhm.
side of me where it's like, there's only a few people. In my hand I can count them, less than 5 where they have brought out such an ugly side of me that I despise. I
Mhm.
despise that side of me. I don't like that side of me. It goes beyond an angry side. It goes beyond a
Mhm.
side where it's like I can be very cunning. I can say very hurtful things.
Yeah.
And this is what going back to what you say, sometimes we are going to have the same type of people, same type of
Mhm.
situations, scenarios, and they're going to continue to, whatever God, the universe, whatever you believe in, the same type of people are going to come into your life over and over again to see if you learn your lesson, to see
Right.
if you're going to move into your blessing.
Yep.
God move you into their blessing. And one of the things that I've learned is I don't want to be around people that bring that side of me out. And if
Right.
I can make a conscious effort, have discernment to where it's like if I feel that that type of personality traits or type of people, or
Mhm.
have the discernment spiritually, I'm like, I'm removing myself for those
I'm
type of
out.
situations. Like I don't
Yep.
want to be that person that, gets to that. It's like it's toxic and I don't like it anymore. Like it's just, and it's hurtful. It's really hurtful. Like, I don't want to hurt people anymore. Like, because I know I have in the past, it's like I know I hurt the father of my kids too. I can be an ass, I can be an asshole. And, just reflecting on the type of person that I am now or want to be, like, I don't want to be at a
Don't
place or
want
a
to be
point
that.
where, I intentionally want to hurt people. If it happens unintentionally, hey, my bad. I sorry. I'm
It's
not beyond
okay.
apologizing, but
Yeah.
people are going to be people, and if I'm able to remove myself from those type of situations, or around that type of people, then I am going to respectfully remove my presence.
Yes, and I think I've now that is one way that I have always been. I need to really be pushed in order to lose my shit on
Mhm.
somebody. Um, I'm a stuffer. I will take it, and I get quiet. Like the quiet
Yeah.
is what I choose to be that way just because I feel like once words are spoken, they can't be taken back. And
Mhm.
someone will replay something that you've said over and over and over again.
Oh yeah.
And you just, there's nothing you can do to ever take that back. So I think that I have learned that I just need to be quiet. But man, I can have that one final push that will just be like, okay, I've had enough. So
Snap, crackle, and pop.
you wanted her, you got her. Here she is. But I don't want to be that way. I
Yeah.
don't.
Now
But
we about to verbally box.
now I'm about to hurt you. Now I'm about to cripple
Yeah.
your soul. How about that?
Yeah.
So I just yeah, I try not to be that way, but yeah, it's tough sometimes. It's tough. Oh, my Air Force. Oh, you know that's right. When those Air Forces come out, you know what time it
Oh
is.
my god,
Okay.
yes.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah.
Been there,
I
done that.
been there, done that. I block out, when I get to that point where I am
Oh,
beyond
I've done
upset,
that.
I black out.
Imma
It's
tell you,
not
yeah,
pretty.
there's something that happened, with my brother that I really, my bless my parents' heart, man, because and I mean that in a very sweet, loving way, because that can mean 2 different things. Um, but I would say it to him differently. But my mom told me something that happened, and I legit blacked out. I did, because he was very lucky I didn't go over to his house. Very lucky.
Oh my god. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have
I
to tell you
was
off camera
oof.
story that I did in my house when I blacked out.
I had to go back
Um,
and watch myself on the camera. I'm like, "What the hell did I even say?"
oh,
Because I was hot. I was hot. Like, how dare you treat my
yep.
parents that way? Yeah, but go ahead.
No, man. I freaking broke collectibles. One time I was heated, so I blacked out and, lot of money worth of collectibles. And then, once I came back, I was like,
What have I done?
shit, what have I done? What have
What
I
have I
done with
done?
I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it
Oh,
was it
that's
was not
rough.
a pretty sight. It was like,
It happens.
shelves and shelves, and it was in the loft, and I went like a psycho mad woman and whoosh, whoosh.
Well, it probably felt good at the moment.
It didn't satisfy my have you ever gotten so angry
I
that
did
it
that
does
once. I
not
cleared a table once with one swipe.
and it
And
doesn't even
I
satisfy
pulled
that
a, like,
anger?
Teresa Giudice on, The Real Housewives, and, I mean, just everything, and, yeah. Yeah, it felt good in the moment, but then I'm like, "What the fuck did I just do?"
Yeah, but I remember it very vividly. Tammy, it didn't satisfy my anger though. Like I
No.
wanted more. Like I wanted to burn the whole house down. Like I wanted to go crazy, crash
Yeah.
wind. It was like not a pretty experience. And I'm like, I don't ever, ever, ever in my life. And that was not the only time I lost my shit.
See, you know what's so funny? I can count probably how many times. It's
Yeah.
not been many. It really hasn't, because like I said, I'm so even keeled and just chill. I really am a chill human. But
Yeah.
that one final thing, or if people mess with my people, that's when I get
Yes.
angry. Like, you can call me anything you want. Like, I
Mhm.
seriously, I'm just like, whatever, whatever. Like, it doesn't phase me, but as soon as you attack somebody I care about, it's on. It's on.
Oh
Like I
my.
say, hands are rated E for everyone.
Yes,
Anybody can
it
get it.
does trigger me. Like, Gina, we were in a space too, and somebody told her something, and I unmuted and started going crazy. I'm like, they can tell me anything. The same thing with
It's
you. Like,
fine. Yeah,
they can
call me
tell
what
me
you want.
whatever. I'll
Yeah,
take
I don't
it.
care. I don't care.
But
You think you're hurting my feelings? Please. I've
people in
been
my
called
circle,
worse,
you
okay?
better watch it. Trail lightly.
That's right. And you know what? It's so funny because I think I developed a thick skin actually being in banking, to be completely honest with you, because man, when you're dealing with people's money, it can get rough. I had some guy
Yeah.
stand up, and I am tall. You know that I'm tall.
Yes.
And I mean 5'9". I guess some girls may say it's average, but I think I'm tall, especially if I'm in heels, it makes me even taller. Well, this dude stood up. He was angry at me because I wasn't allowing him to do something he wanted to do. And I promise you, I kid you not, this man was probably over 7 feet tall. I am
The
not even playing.
what?
And he wanted to hit me so bad. And of course, here's me, the manager, protecting my people, because no, you are not going to come at my people like that. And when he stood up, in that moment, something clicked in, and I just stood right where I was at. And I want to say he chest bumped me, but he was a lot taller than me. But he literally, when he went out the doors, he hit the door so hard he knocked it completely off the hinge. And yeah, he was not a happy camper in what I told him, but his father came back to apologize for him, and I said that's fine, but he is never coming in here again, just so you know. But in that moment, I was so angry at the way that he was treating my people that it kicked in, and as soon as he stood up, I thought, "Okay, but it's on. It's on, bro. You wanna do
We're
this
about
here?
to
We'll do
box
this here."
right here, right
Yeah,
now.
right here, right now. And I literally just basically body walked him out of the branch. And I was like, get your ass out of here and don't ever fucking come back. And I didn't, and I remember he wanted my card. I remember that. And I'm like, make sure you can spell my name. Make sure you got my name right. Take that right on down to corporate. You're welcome. Yeah. I made sure he got my card.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Did you
Don't
tell
mess
did
my
you
name up now.
did
Mhm.
you tell him at the end, "Bless you, sweetheart"?
I did. I said, "Bless your heart, honey." Yeah, that's gonna
Bless
be
your heart.
expensive for you, my dude, but you do your thing. So yeah, I think I developed a very, very thick skin by
Yeah.
what I was working in, because man, when I first started, somebody could look at me the wrong way and I'd probably cry. So it definitely hardened me a bit.
Yep. I I would
Therapeutic.
it is, yes. I think different I worked with a lot of different personalities too, I was always around military too, and
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, I mean, I loved the people that I work with, and they did teach me a lot, they taught
Mhm.
me a lot.
Hey, that teaches you discipline, and we have family members that are military, and I'll tell you what, yeah, it definitely that is a class all of its own. So, yeah, it's you learned very, very good lessons though.
Oh yeah, abso-freaking-lutely. Tammy, we've been on here for like 2 hours,
A
and you and I,
minute. It goes
girl,
by so fast though, and
it
that's what I
does.
said with your I'm telling you, this is why people stay, and I want to thank you and Crypto Empress. Seriously, that is the moment. I will never forget it. I was standing in my kitchen and I was listening and watching, and it was something that you both were talking about that I was like, that's it. That's what I need to do. That is how I'm going to give back. And
Love that.
it inspired me to do that. Not that I haven't volunteered and not that I haven't done things in my life where I really felt that it was important to give back, but I think this is this is my calling, and it was that very interview that did it. So
I
thank you
love
to
that.
both
That
you and
is
Crypto Empress.
no, thank you. And thank you for being such a huge support system. It's like, it's not easy. And you've been there through a lot of my craziness, a lot of,
It hasn't been
and
crazy.
you're just, I'm glad that you're doing something now and that you are finding your calling or you're going to navigate through it.
I
It's like,
am.
because once you start, it's like you have to allow yourself also room to shift and pivot if you need to. It's like I'm still going through this journey that, it's like I love live streaming, I love talking to people, I love interviewing, but I still don't know what it's going to become or, the full vision of it. So I'm just kind of this time I'm approaching things with God is at the forefront. I'm allowing God to lead my steps, and then whatever becomes of it, right?
Yep.
So I'm very excited. I'm very proud. And I am stoked that you're finally saying, you know what? I think this is my calling. And I think I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to be here
Yeah.
to support you every step of the way and whatever I can.
I really appreciate that. And you know, I support you too, girl. You know, you go in places. Okay. I don't even have to tell you. You already know this. You are excelling very rapidly, and I see it, and I promise you every moment during those interviews when I hear or conversations, whatever you want to call it, because I do feel it's just very comfortable.
Yeah.
But there's always a moment where they were like, everybody said, Ragsy said it. She's like, wow, I feel like I'm on, like 60 Minutes, when she loved the intro and the questions. And I just feel like you truly take the time, and that means a lot to somebody. And I think I've told you that even with the intros, like somebody's able to see themselves through someone else's eyes. So they're able to
Yeah.
see, I'm able to see myself through your eyes, or they're able to see themselves through your eyes, or how they're viewed in the space. And it's just, it's neat. And, there is more to us than just crypto. Even though that's what brought
Yeah.
us all here. And I wouldn't have met all these wonderful people had it not been for crypto. But I'm truly appreciative that you, like I said, I'm not a notable person in this space. So for having me on,
You
I
are,
really appreciate
Tabby.
it. I do appreciate that. I mean that from my heart though. I do appreciate it. And I just see you're going to be at the top. I'm telling you,
You know,
mark my words. I
Tammy,
said it here
we
first.
are, it's like I think it's a team effort, right? I think with the community, the people that we've surrounded ourselves, the people that, have been around us in our circle, I think it takes a village, to
It
build. You
does.
know how they say it takes a village to raise a child? It takes a village to raise, like this what I'm doing now, it's my child. And I think one
Yep.
of the things that I've learned recently is that when God orders your steps, no hater, no delay, and no closed door can stop the destination. It's
It's
like
true.
God is going to make it happen. And I don't know if you remember me telling you something. I think I posted this as well too, that um I felt at one point where I was like spiritually, God was like, you know what? Trust me, put me first, believe in me, and I will
Mhm.
bring my people. And
I
when
believe
I
that.
started doing that and when I went on a leap of faith, the community, the people that have been around me, around us, it's just beautiful to see that grow. It's like the positive there, it's just a positive, world. And I don't know if
It is.
I'm just in a bubble right now and just kind of or ignoring the negativity, but I feel like for the last week or, couple of weeks, it's been nothing but positive energy. And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
what I want to continue. And I know there's going to be some negativity because it is social media and
Oh, it'll happen.
there is going to be some toxicity and negativity. I'm either good at ignoring it now, but I don't know. I haven't like really felt the negativity
I
a
haven't
lot.
either, and I think over time you start to feel that way. You're like,
Yeah.
"Okay, I can separate myself from this, or I can see that and
Mhm.
avoid it." Girl, you see crazy coming, you cross the street. Like, come
I'm
on.
like, "I'm
Like,
out.
I'm
Next."
out. I'm out. But in I know for a while it was said the toxic positivity, but you know what? I would sure as hell rather be positive than
Yeah.
negative. So if it is taken as that, okay, so be it. I really don't care. To me, I think that that's what this world needs. I think it's what the space needs. It can become so toxic. And
Mhm.
some people just can't navigate through that. And it's tough. So if you can be a bright light or just a sparkle to somebody, do it.
Yeah.
Like kindness is free. Spread that shit around. Like you know what do you hold on to it for? I just feel that we are all here for a reason, and we may not ever discover that reason, but you know, we just keep plugging along, and whatever is our calling, we do it. And um, I don't know, I feel that we each have our own little gift to give. It's just discovering that gift. What is it, and how are you going to spread it around, and you know, I guess give of yourself. So that's what I look forward to doing.
Yep. And then, I don't remember exactly what Keith said last night, but he said something that really resonated, and I need to go back and listen, but he said something in reference to like, you only have one life.
It's true.
It's like one life, and like what are you doing with it? It's like, what is your purpose? And how do you want to live the life?
Right.
That one life that you have.
Yeah.
It's like, even if you don't have anything to give, when we talk about giving back, even if you don't have the money to give back, one act of kindness, you
Yeah.
have no idea how far an act of kindness, a smile, a positive word, a
Yep.
motivational quote will do for that person that's struggling that day. Because, a lot of the times behind the smiles, people are freaking drowning in oceans, drowning in storms, drowning in chaos. So it's like you never know
And a lot of
what,
people don't show it. A
yeah,
lot of people do not show it. You're one of those people. I feel like
yeah,
not saying that you're drowning, but you know,
yeah,
you're
no,
very, you just always put on a positive face, and you it's not that you don't let anybody know, but you handle it with grace. I will say
yeah.
that. And even me, like I just get very quiet. But yeah, we all go through things, and some people they wear it on their sleeve, and you see it, and that's okay too. So we're all unique, we're all different, and I just think that we definitely have to give people grace, and we all go through things, and some of us
Oh,
can be
yeah.
forthcoming with it and some of us maybe not so much. You know, and I know Dave has asked me before, he's like, you know, what do you want to be remembered for? And I will ask you that, and then I will tell you what I want to be remembered for. What would you want to be remembered for?
Oh my God, that is such a loaded question.
Hmm.
Um, but I think that I want to be remembered for somebody asked me that one time and I knew exactly what I wanted to say. And I think because of this journey that I've been going through, I want to be remembered for kindness, but it's hard for me to let that out right now because am I exuding kindness to every single individual? That would be a lie if I said yes, you know?
Yeah, oh, I get it. Yeah, I get it. But you do.
But
I think you're just being hard on yourself.
yeah,
Hmm.
what would you want to be remembered for?
How I made someone feel. And
I
I hope,
love that.
yeah. So that is why it's important to me to acknowledge people. And
Mhm.
you can have a huge following, and to me, you know, never acknowledge anybody, and that's just sad to me because you don't know whose life that you're touching. And I everybody's important, and I appreciate
Yeah.
everybody that follows me. I truly do. And I do my best to follow everybody back. Like if I see it, I'll make sure that I go back and do that. But I would say um how I made somebody feel.
You know
That's what I
what?
want to be remembered for.
Because everybody will always remember how you made them feel, whether it's negative or positive. It's like
Yep.
everybody will always, always remember how you made them feel. I love that.
Yes.
Rated Throw put Psalm 30. I freaking love the book of Psalm.
Mhm.
I've been reading that one and Proverbs lately. Proverbs for wisdom, Psalm when I'm crying for prayers.
Yes, yes. But you know what? I think we all go through even that journey in our own way. And, I have a lot of friends that are Catholic and, all different religions. And I've never been one that I went to church, but I'm a Christian and I believe in God. I believe I'm very spiritual. I know I've
Yeah.
learned a lot from Dave with that. And but you don't have to go to church to believe in God. It's all an individual journey, I feel. So to me, I I give myself grace on that, I guess, because I've been
Yeah.
to so many different churches and things, but we all go through it at different times. And I'll be honest with you, with the stuff that happened most recently with Charlie Kirk. I believe that was an awakening for a lot of people, and it was actually good to see because I think we've gotten so far from that and pushed
Mhm.
away from it where we couldn't even say Merry Christmas to people, for God's
Oh
sakes.
my god,
So
yes.
please, like we got so far away from things, and now the turn and how we're going back, it's nice to see. So I hope that continues.
I think a lot of people more embracing, it's like
Hmm.
their faith, what they believe in, and really wanting to put it out there. It's like, I think one of the things, well, in my experience, it's like I've always had faith. I've always believed in God, and I have a huge testimony as to why I believe in God. And here
Hmm.
and now and then, I would post about God and post about things, but not as much as I do it now, and I
Hmm.
think it was one of those, it was not embarrassment, but the fear of persecution and how people
Hmm.
come at you, and it's like
Yep.
everybody judges you, right? It's like we're not perfect, and I'm on a journey. I am on a journey. I mean, it's like
Absolutely.
I want God to one day be like, you know what? I still like to have a drink, you know. I curse, and
Oh, I do too,
but
like a sailor.
the yeah, but that relationship is with me and God. And
Right.
it's like just because I speak about God, I'm still learning about my emotions. I'm still learning about how to treat people. I'm still going through all of that. And I think one of the things with people is like, oh my God, they talk about God. They have God in their bio. They post God, but look at how they're acting. They're cursing. They have a drink. They're still treating
Hmm.
people like crap. I'm like, give people grace to change. And that
That's right.
relationship is between that person and God. And let God, work in that person and mold them, their timing and everything. But I think that's one of the things that happens is like we don't give people enough grace,
No.
and we judge people. Leave the judging for God, not for us. It's like we
Oh.
shouldn't be judging people because God is not going to use perfect people to deliver his message. It's like what
Nope.
he used, robbers, somebody that stuttered, thieves,
Hmm.
and look at them now. It's like,
Exactly.
and the same thing, it's like, we have to be relatable to other people. And it's
Yep.
like a person that is going through somebody, let's say, a drunk, has alcoholism and stuff like that, and if I extend grace,
Hmm.
and they're like, okay, and they see my character and how I love God and etc., you never know how that's going to change that person.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's true. And the only one that should be standing in judgment of you is God. So you can't
Yeah.
worry about what other people are saying or how they're perceiving it because you know what? God still loves you. I mean, yeah, I swear and I know sometimes that I shouldn't, but I do. But yeah, I think that that's like you said, it's an individual journey and we're all
Yeah.
learning. And, the day that I stop learning, man, that's going to be a sad day.
I
So
always say I am a student of life
I
now.
am too, man. I learn something new every single day. And I mean that. I do. I learn something new every day. And I think that people, use your mind. Your mind is a very, very powerful tool, and it doesn't know anything other than what you feed it. So if you're going to feed it
Exactly.
toxicity and negativity, that's what it's going to know. And I'm sorry, I'm not letting that in anymore. So
No. I
sometimes it'll slip
love
out though. People come for my people, then it's going to come out. But other than that,
Oh
I'm
my god,
I'm
tell
I try
me.
to be nice.
Sometimes we have bad days, especially if like we're driving on the road. You mother ever get out my way, Tammy.
I know.
Oh my god, like I'm
Exactly.
on the phone with you the other day and we're having and then Tammy's like, get out my way.
Oh my god, I was so annoyed. I don't remember what it was, but I do that
Tammy
sometimes.
Gangsta came out. I was like, I
Oh, Gangster
laughed
Tammy comes out.
because
Yes.
it's like we're having like, a conversation like this, and then all of a sudden, move out my way.
Yeah, yeah, that was my moment.
I can't
Yeah,
help but bust out laughing.
that's right. We gotta give ourselves grace for that. Listen, we all go through it.
Oh my god, that was funny though because it was so unexpected. Mom, get
I
out!
know, I was so pissed. I don't even remember what it was. I get so annoyed at people driving. The road rage is
Yeah.
real. So,
Oh
yes.
my god, I was like busting out laughing. But hi, Sticky Rivers, thank you for coming through. Isaiah,
Aw,
Soul
love you
put
guys.
Isaiah 4110. Thank you, Rated So and Rated Zro and Soul for putting some Bible quotes in the chat. I mean, we went from financial to like
I
emotional,
know.
having like
It's all
all in
connected.
between.
Hey, you know what? It's emotional when it comes to, like, finances, so I get it. I get it. It's all connected. All
It
of it.
is. But with that being said, we'll wrap up. We've been here a few hours. Oh my
Yeah.
God, 2 hours and 40 minutes, Tammy. Almost 3 hours. What the
Holy cow.
fudge? I
People actually
know.
tuned into it.
Yes, they did. You know
Yay.
what? Yeah, I think it's, raw and real. I think this is allowing, it just came out and everything comes out and allowing it to flow. And I appreciate you for that.
I appreciate you the same, and I appreciate everybody that supports us. Like you said, I mean, everybody that it's I feel almost like this little family is forming, and it's so nice. It's just so nice
It
to have
is.
good, genuine people that they want to work together. They want to, support one another just as we support. I think that's amazing, and I want to see more of that. More of that, everyone.
I love it. To everybody that has stayed here from beginning to end, I think
Yes.
we deserve a burger for now. Maybe a
Yes.
wolf to keep us warm at night or
Uh-huh.
protecting us, a snake to bite the apple.
Yes, yes. Our based boo to
Our
protect
base
us.
boot, yes, a tradie vest, to
And
build
rated,
something, build me a castle.
that's right. We got invited to the cookout. I'm happy.
Yeah, so thank you everybody for showing up. It's like we could not build this community without you guys and everybody that stayed in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to this pop-up space, financial space that
Yes.
ended, us talking a little bit about emotions and what we go through and building in this space. Krabby, thank you. Everybody that tuned in so much. Tammy, do you want to leave them with any last parting words?
No, just thank you so much for coming and listening to us. And if there is anything that I can help with, I am going to start doing some threads and kind of navigating through this to help people. So if there's any questions that you have, please reach out because I'd be more than happy to answer them. If I don't know the answer, I will find out the answer. Because like I
Yeah.
said, I'm not an expert in anything, but I do know a lot when it comes to finances because that's where I spent my career and I'm still doing it. So it's something that's truly my passion. And I want to be able to help people. And if I can help just one, it's worth it to me. So I appreciate everybody listening for sure. And I
I love
appreciate
it.
you having me. I told you you're like that guy that interviews on Jerry Maguire where he's like, "You're not going to make me cry. You're not going to make me cry." I'm like, "You are that interviewer. You are that interviewer
Oh
where
my
you just
god.
you just get into the soul of somebody. So you're doing amazing things, and I just can't wait to see where this journey takes you. And I'm gonna be here every step of the way, being a cheerleader.
Thank you, Tammy Boo. You know I love you so much.
I love you too. Mwah.
With that being said, good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. And please, if you don't follow Tammy, get your butts over there and follow Tammy because she's going to be dropping some wisdom on this financial trad fight. Sounds almost like trap trap
Like a
music.
sci-fi,
Yeah.
tradfi, DeFi. You know what? We are going to bridge that gap. That's what I'm looking
Yes.
to do, because I had to bridge it and I had to go through all of that to do it. So I think it would help a few people along the way in their journey too.
Abso-freaking-lutely. So, guys, freaking go watch. Go follow her.
And
Either
listen,
way, you're going to stay broke if you don't.
my
Good night,
jam.
everyone.
Honey.
Bye, Tommy Boo.
Bye.
That's
Bye.
my
Bye,
boo
everybody.
base. Bye.